Chapter 605. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. I still have some power left, Night Sorrow said as he let out a sigh. Your surname is Yi. Are you a descendant of Night Moon? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow seriously. Is that important? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang and asked. Permanent G exempt FZ look little. Say 9-inch it's not important, but I still hope that you are. Night Moon Dynasty's members are the most courageous group of people. Back then they were the #1 domain in the Taiqing domain. What about now? Tianfeng Dynasty, Golden Dragon King Dynasty, they are all scum. Internal wars are fine, but external wars are trash, Yin Huang said. I have a mount. Do you? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang. I really don't have one. But don't worry, we are out of the city. We can just grab one, Yin Huang said embarrassedly. You're going to catch them as you please? Yi Shan looked at Yin Huang in surprise. Let's go. You'll know in a moment. After Yin Huang finished speaking, he called for a beast carriage and called for Yi Shan to enter. My mount is rank 5. You can grab one, but can it keep up? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang puzzled. After leaving the city, Yin Huang waved his arm and a shadow appeared. The shadow roared and disappeared. A moment later, a rank 2 gray wolf flew in front of Yin Huang. F***CK, can't you catch a better looking one? Yin Huang reached out and slapped Grey Wolf's head, then scolded. Night Sorrow was puzzled because everything in front of him was too strange. A rank 2 Grey Wolf could fly. No one would believe it. What Night Sorrow couldn't understand was that the Grey Wolf was full of oppressive death energy. Let's go. Let's talk as we go. Yin Huang's body flashed and landed on the Grey Wolf's back. He directly rode on the Grey Wolf's back. His legs were dangling, almost touching the ground. Once Yin Huang sat down, the Grey Wolf immediately rose into the air and flew forward at an extremely fast speed. Night Sorrow released Tianyu and chased after Yin Huang, who was riding the Grey Wolf. Look at his mount. Next time I'll F***King catch a better looking one. Yin Huang slapped Grey Wolf's head again, then looked at Night Sorrow in embarrassment. This thing doesn't know any better, it always embarrasses me. Yi Shang shook his head, unable to understand. Then, Yin Huang told him about his treasure, the ghost wolf with the death attribute. It was a soul beast that Yin Huang had captured in the land of demons. It was currently at the mid-stage of stage 5, and was proficient in soul attacks. It was also proficient in control. Currently, it was controlling the stage 2 Grey Wolf. So strong. Night Sorrow looked at the Grey Wolf that Yin Huang was sitting on and asked in surprise. Of course. That's why it casually caught a stage 5 mount. Actually, it's just a carrier for me to sit comfortably on. However, its worldview is very disgusting. It thinks that wolves are mighty. If I ask it to catch a demonic beast as a mount, it will definitely catch a wolf, Yin Huang said and slapped the Grey Wolf again. Fast. The Grey Wolf that the Ghost Wolf controlled was very fast. Although it couldn't be compared to Tianyu, it was just a little bit slower. Then how long can this Grey Wolf last? Night Sorrow asked as he sat on Tianyu's back. This has nothing to do with the Grey Wolf itself. Right now, the Ghost Wolf is using its own energy to fly. If you don't want to destroy this Grey Wolf, you can just let it go. This Grey Wolf will be as good as sleeping and nothing will happen to it. We've ridden it for so long, why can't we kill it? Yin Huang rode the Grey Wolf and flew beside Tianyu, who had slowed down. It was as if he was riding a horse. Then what's the highest level of demonic beasts that the Ghost Wolf can control? Night Sorrow asked. Demonic beasts below stage 5 are not a problem. Demonic beasts above stage 5 will depend on the strength of the soul. If you encounter a beast with a high soul strength, the most you can do is wipe out its soul. It won't be able to control it, Yin Huang said. Thank you for coming with me. I don't have much to thank you for. This is a stage 4 silver-winged eagle. Try it and see how it works. Night Sorrow threw a beast-taming crystal to Yin Huang. Then let's go down and study it. Yin Huang didn't argue. After receiving the beast-taming crystal, he controlled the Ghost Wolf to land. Night Sorrow controlled Tianyu to land as well. Yin Huang then communicated with the beast-taming crystal, and made the silver-winged eagle recognize him as its master. A stage 4, stage 6 silver-winged eagle. Night Sorrow, you're awesome. This thing is useful to me. I can control both the silver-winged eagle and the ghost wolf. Normally, I can let the silver-winged eagle fly by itself. When I need speed, I can let the ghost wolf wrap around the silver-winged eagle and fly. As long as the eagle doesn't resist, it's cool and comfortable to sit on. Yin Huang liked the silver-winged eagle very much. After the silver-winged eagle recognized him as its master, he gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. After that, the two of them continued flying. However, Night Sorrow was still accommodating Yin Huang. Yin Huang was controlling the silver-winged eagle and the ghost wolf to work together. He couldn't let the ghost wolf hurt the silver-winged eagle. After all, the silver-winged eagle wasn't a demonic beast that would give up after using it once. Night Sorrow didn't know that not long after they left the Taiqing region, Ji Yuhao and Ji Yufeng had bribed the guards of the teleporting formation and asked them where Night Sorrow and Yin Huang were teleporting to. After that, they chased them from the Golden Dragon City to the Dragon Tail City. When they arrived at the Dragon Tail City, Ji Yuhao easily asked the guards about Night Sorrow and Yin Huang's whereabouts. Ji Yuhao took out a map and glanced at it, then nodded and said, Night Sorrow, his surname is Yi. His target might be the Night Moon City. Let's go. This time, they will die for sure. Ji Yuhao and Ji Yufeng were both venerables. They were much faster than Tianyu and the ghost wolf. They directly chased after Night Sorrow and Yin Huang. Brother, I have to go back to work after accompanying you for a while. I really don't like it, but I have no choice. Sitting on the silver-winged eagle's back, Yin Huang took out 2 jars of wine and threw one to Night Sorrow. What? Is there something you don't want to do? Night Sorrow opened the jar and asked. Yes, there are some things that I won't hide from you. Tianji Tower thinks highly of me and gave me a stupid position. I don't like it very much, but my old man said that if I dared to refuse, he would break my legs. You know, my old man has never spoken loudly to me since I was a child. Even if my old man yelled at me, my old man would stand up for me. So this time there is no room for discussion. Yin Huang sighed and said, Since you said so, I'll tell you that I'm also a member of Tianji Tower. However, I still have a lot of freedom. As long as I don't betray Tianji Tower, I can do whatever I want. Night Sorrow said, You're also a member of Tianji Tower? That's good. But let me tell you, you have to work hard. My status is not low. If we can't play together in the future, it will be boring. Yin Huang said, We're friends, we're brothers. No matter what, we'll play together. Night Sorrow said. When he said this, Night Sorrow turned around, because he found that someone was chasing after him. Yin Huang, hurry up and leave. These two are not friendly. Night Sorrow reminded Yin Huang. Chapter 606. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. What are you talking about? Am I, Yin Huang, the kind of person who would abandon his friends and run away? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction, then looked at the 2 people chasing after him. After noticing their cultivation bases, Yin Huang's expression turned solemn. He was a peak void inquiry stage expert. Naturally, he could also see Ji Yuhao and Ji Yufeng's cultivation bases. At that moment, Ji Yuhao and Ji Yufeng flew over them as well, blocking their way. Night Sorrow's body flashed and left Tianyu's back. Tianyu's speed was fast, but he still couldn't surpass the Venerable One. At this time, he could only fight. Yin Huang also kept the silver-winged eagle and stood beside Night Sorrow. Behind him, there was a dark energy roaring. It was the ghost wolf. Tell me your name. Night Sorrow extended his right hand and grabbed the reincarnation spear. At the same time, he kept the Void Dao stone into the space-time treasure pagoda. You should know my name, but when you see me, your life will come to an end. I am Ji Yuhao. Ji Yuhao waved the long sword in his hand and said, I've been to the Eastern Xian Domain and the Medicine Valley, but I didn't find you. My name is Ji Yufeng. Ji Yufeng also took out his long sword. Both of you are here, very good. Ji Yufeng, you and your people burned down Juyuan Town in Medicine Valley, didn't you? You even chopped off the arm of an old man with no cultivation base. Night Sorrow's murderous aura rippled. Love go little, say, if Night Sorrow had a deep grudge with anyone, it would be the two people in front of him. One was the culprit, and the other was the executor. That's right. This time, I'm not just going to cut off your arm, I'm going to kill you, said Ji Yufeng coldly. Yin Huang, step back. This has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow waved his hand at Yin Huang. He did not want to drag Yin Huang down with him. Today both of you will die. Ji Yuhao waved his long sword and said, Brother, look. But they want to kill me as well. There's no other way. Let's fight. Yin Huang waved his hands, and a pair of scimitars appeared. Then you will die. Ji Yuhao snorted coldly and rushed towards Yishan. I just can't stand people like you. Before Yishan could do anything, Yin Huang charged out. Yin Huang, who had rushed out, looked completely different. The sense of power coming from his body was no longer bright and handsome, but fierce and aggressive. The defensive power shield around his body was dark purple in color, with thunderbolts surging out from it, shaking off Ji Yuhao's space restraint. Seeing Yin Huang stop Ji Yuhao, Night Sorrow dashed towards Ji Yufeng. Two peak void inquiry stage cultivators against two venerables. They could only pick the weaker one first to have a chance. Therefore Night Sorrow chose to attack Ji Yufeng. Night Sorrow did not dare to delay any longer. He directly activated his void attribute and launched the 7-star brilliant moon spear at Ji Yufeng. Ji Yufeng wielded his long sword and slashed at Yishang. Yishang's peak void inquiry stage cultivation base was nothing to him. However, when their weapons were about to collide against each other, the situation changed. The sword chi released from Ji Yufeng's long sword was directly pushed aside by Yishang's spear light. This was the power of the void nature Zhen Qi. Love go go xiao shua 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 w. Ai chu x. Soon their weapons clashed. Ji Yufeng was knocked back by Night Sorrow's 7-star brilliant moon spear. After that, Night Sorrow continued to dash forward. He wanted to defeat Ji Yufeng as soon as possible, because he was worried that Yin Huang might not be able to withstand his attacks. As a matter of fact, Yin Huang couldn't hold on any longer. Ji Yu's cultivation was 3 levels higher than his, and he was also a venerable. Yin Huang was directly suppressed by Ji Yu. Fortunately, Yin Huang's protective air shield was filled with lightning, which could break through the venerable's space restraint. Otherwise he would have been killed immediately. Moreover, the spirit wolf was constantly attacking Ji Yu, which bought him time to dodge. Night Sorrow kept attacking with his spear, suppressing Ji Yufeng and forcing him to retreat. Then he observed Yin Huang and found that he could not hold on any longer. Feeling anxious, he directly activated his innate bloodline power and launched the space crack at Ji Yufeng. The energy of the space crack cut through the space and headed towards Ji Yufeng. Seeing that the situation was not good, Ji Yufeng immediately swung his sword to block the attack. Crack! Along with a crisp sound, Ji Yufeng's long sword was broken by the energy of the space crack. However, Ji Yufeng also got a chance to breathe. Although he was not directly hit by the space crack, a piece of flesh was cut off from his shoulder. After being injured by Night Sorrow, Ji Yufeng couldn't care less about his face and directly yelled, "Brother Hao, come help me. I can't hold on any longer." Mwayxian 9, section. Super seeing that Ji Yufeng was injured, Ji Yuhao's body flashed and landed beside Night Sorrow. He swung his long sword towards Night Sorrow. Fast. Too fast. Night Sorrow could only swing his spear to block the attack. However, he was still one step too late. The reincarnation spear blocked Ji Yuhao's long sword, but the sword light pierced through his ribs and left a wound on his ribs. Night Sorrow took a few steps back and stood in front of Yin Huang. He pointed the reincarnation spear to his side and stared at Ji Yuhao. Yishang was shocked. His myriad Tao scripture had been broken by Ji Yuhao. Ji Yuhao was also shocked that his time sword chi didn't cut Night Sorrow in half. Time property? Yin Huang took a step forward and stood beside Night Sorrow. That's right. You two have seen my time sword skill, so both of you have to die. Ji Yuhao glanced at Ji Yufeng and said, "Time acceleration." Night Sorrow murmured. He now understood why Ji Yuhao was so fast just now. It was because of the time property. Also, Ji Yuhao was a Zun cultivator. His soul and Zhen Qi had merged with the surroundings. Therefore, his speed was extremely fast. That's right. It's the time property. Your speed is no different from a snail in front of me. Ji Yuhao had a cold smile on his face. Yi Shang and Yun Huang were nothing but playthings in front of him with the power of time. You shameless bastard. You didn't even look at me just now. Yun Huang was angry because Ji Yuhao looked down on him. Don't worry. The time property is not invincible. It won't be that easy to kill me. Come on. Night Sorrow let out a breath. A faint purple void property protective shield appeared, and the power of Desolates was running at full speed inside his body. Seeing Ji Yuhao's time sword skill, Night Sorrow became cautious. He knew that if it weren't for the fact that his body was strengthened by the power of Desolates, which counteracted most of the power of the time sword chi, he would have been cut in half. What's the point? In terms of cultivation, I am a Zun cultivator, and you are an ant. In terms of property, I am the time property and you are trash. What makes you think you can fight with me for a woman? You must die today. Ji Yuhao gnashed his teeth and said, Don't talk nonsense. We don't know who will win yet. Yin Huang, protect yourself. Yi Shang took a deep breath and rushed towards Ji Yuhao. Ji Yuhao waved his time sword skill and slashed towards Night Sorrow again. The time property sword chi was too fast. Fortunately, it slowed down a lot when it came within 10 feet of Night Sorrow. That was the area where Night Sorrow's void property Zhen Qi could affect. Chapter 607. Geniuses Remember Love in 1 Second? This is a wonderful novel for you to read. Night Sorrow's spear light was fierce and violent, but it couldn't reach Ji Yuhao, because Ji Yuhao was way too fast. Similarly, Ji Yuhao's attack couldn't do anything to Night Sorrow either. When his sword chi reached near Night Sorrow's body, it returned to its normal speed. This was a stalemate. Night Sorrow couldn't hurt Ji Yuhao, but Ji Yuhao couldn't suppress Night Sorrow either. This was the power of the void power. No matter what kind of power you had, as long as you were in the area affected by the void power, all your power would be nullified. #fast. Go. Ji Yuhao was shocked. He didn't think that his time sword chi would lose its advantage when it reached Night Sorrow. In fact, he knew that what he had learned was not time acceleration, but time deceleration. As long as he was in the area affected by the void power, the flow of time would be slowed down. That was why his speed was so fast. Yi Shang could only hold on, but he couldn't change the situation. Since he couldn't kill Ji Yuhao, Yi Shang decided to kill Ji Yufeng first. As long as he could kill as many as he could. At the moment, Ji Yufeng and Yin Huang were still fighting. Ji Yufeng was 1 level higher than Yin Huang, but he didn't have any advantage at all. Yin Huang's defensive power shield was covered with lightning snakes. He ignored Ji Yufeng's unique space restriction and hacked his pair of machetes around Ji Yufeng, which made Ji Yufeng quite embarrassed. After dodging Ji Yuhao's sword chi, Night Sorrow shouted at Yin Huang and told him to step back. Next, he activated his bloodline power and sent a space crack towards Ji Yufeng. After that, he dashed forward and activated his nature and man being one with the world to suppress Ji Yufeng. Then he performed the 7-star glorious moon spear art, aiming at Ji Yufeng. Yin Huang, of course, knew what Night Sorrow meant. He stepped back and changed his target. He threw out 2 blade lights that were wrapped in lightning towards Ji Yuhao while commanding his spirit wolf to stop Ji Yuhao. Ji Yufeng was already scared when he saw Night Sorrow cast the space crack. He tried to dodge, but was still affected by Night Sorrow's space restraint. Therefore, he couldn't completely dodge, and could only wield the broken sword to defend himself. Ji Yufeng was a cultivator, but he had just stepped into the stage. Therefore, he wasn't much stronger than Night Sorrow. How could he possibly defend himself against Night Sorrow's space-cracking attack? Another section of the broken sword was cut off, and the protective shield was cut open. Ji Yufeng's face changed dramatically, and he hurriedly leaned his body to dodge. His upper body managed to dodge the attack, but one of his legs was cut off by Night Sorrow's space crack. After severely injuring Ji Yufeng with 1 move, Night Sorrow was now very close to Ji Yufeng. The reincarnation spear darted towards Ji Yufeng's throat along with an unstoppable momentum. You're courting death. Ji Yuhao's body flashed a few times in a row, dodging Yin Huang and the Hell Wolf's attacks. While approaching Night Sorrow, he also wielded his arm and sent out a stream of sword chi towards Night Sorrow. Sensing the sword chi slicing through the air, Night Sorrow pondered and made a decision. If he dodged, he would lose the chance to kill Ji Yufeng. If he didn't, he might be injured. Ji Yufeng's space and time sword chi was released with all of his power. Even if Night Sorrow defended himself with all of his power, it would still be hard for him to block it. The other option was to use the time and space tower to defend himself, but the tower would be exposed. Within a split second, Night Sorrow made up his mind. He would take the attack head-on. Night Sorrow boosted his defensive shield with the power of nothingness to the maximum, and covered his back with the power of desolation. Boom! With a single move, Night Sorrow shattered the remaining half of Ji Yufeng's short sword, sending Ji Yufeng flying backward while vomiting blood. However, Ji Yuhao's sword chi had also broken Night Sorrow's defensive shield, and once again sliced towards Night Sorrow's back. With the power of desolation, this sword chi didn't cause much damage to Night Sorrow's body. However, it still left a deep wound on Night Sorrow's back. Take care of him for me. Night Sorrow turned around and yelled at Yin Huang. Meanwhile, he sent out a space crack towards Ji Yuhao. After the space crack was sent out, Night Sorrow immediately launched a soul-destroying cut. At the moment, Night Sorrow was fighting with all of his power. As long as he could hold his ground, he would be able to take advantage of Ji Yufeng. He knew that Ji Yufeng, who was badly injured, would not be able to stop Yin Huang. After Night Sorrow sent out the space crack, the space was cut open, and the energy of the space crack reached Ji Yuhao within a blink of an eye. Ji Yuhao's expression changed as he hurriedly stepped back. His time deceleration didn't have much effect on Night Sorrow's space crack. While stepping back, Ji Yuhao sent out a few sword chi streams in a row to neutralize the space crack. Right after he neutralized Night Sorrow's space crack, Ji Yuhao suddenly dodged sideways, because he sensed the soul-destroying cut. Ji Yuhao's continuous stepping back gave Night Sorrow a chance to hold his ground. Night Sorrow controlled the power inside his body to seal the wound, and stop the blood from flowing out. At the same time, Yin Huang also made some progress. With the help of the spirit wolf, Yin Huang took care of Ji Yufeng, who was badly injured, in just a short while. Yin Huang held Ji Yufeng's collar with his left hand, and put the machete against his neck with his right hand. He walked up to Night Sorrow and said, "This guy is here. What should we do?" Night Sorrow reached out his left hand and grabbed Ji Yufeng, bringing him to his front. "Let him go, or you'll both die." Ji Yuhao looked at Night Sorrow and Yin Huang with a dark face. "Forget about it. It's not the first time you said that. If bragging could kill people, we wouldn't be standing here." Yin Huang yelled back. Night Sorrow raised the reincarnation spear with his right hand and cut off Ji Yufeng's finger, which was wearing a storage ring. He then threw the ring to Yin Huang. "Stop!" Ji Yuhao yelled out. "Shut up!" Night Sorrow raised his head and threw a glare at Ji Yuhao, then grabbed Ji Yufeng and put him in front of himself. "You better let me go, or the Ji Yu family won't let you go." Ji Yufeng's face was pale as he looked at Night Sorrow with his teeth clenched. "I don't expect the Ji Yu family to let me go, and I'm not going to let the Ji Yu family go. When you burned down the town, did you think about today? When you cut off my father's arm, did you think about today?" After asking a few questions, Night Sorrow swung the reincarnation spear and cut off Ji Yufeng's neck. Next, he wielded the reincarnation spear and chopped off Ji Yufeng's head, body and soul. "Are you really going to kill him?" Yin Huang paused for a second. He thought Night Sorrow would try to negotiate, but now, he directly chopped off Ji Yufeng's head. "Why not? We weren't scared when there were only two of them. Now that there's only one left, why should we be scared of him?" Night Sorrow glanced at Ji Yufeng's body, which was falling from the sky, then waved the reincarnation spear and looked at Ji Yuhao again. "You have to die." Ji Yuhao's face turned pale. Ji Yufeng was his cousin, but now he died in front of him. "Yin Huang, protect yourself. Today, I'd like to see how he's going to kill me." Night Sorrow waved the reincarnation spear and said, "All right, it'll be hard for him to kill me." Yin Huang waved his arm and the ghost wolf appeared beside him. Chapter 608. Genius remembers love in 1 second / small? This is a wonderful novel for you to read. Come on. Ji Yuhao, your cultivation is high, and your nature is strong. Let's see how you can kill me. When Night Sorrow checked his wounds, he found that there was a special kind of energy inside his body that was helping him heal. Night Sorrow knew that it was the power of the spirit medicine. Ji Yuhao roared and rushed towards Night Sorrow again. Night Sorrow activated his void nature defensive energy shield and started to fight with Ji Yuhao in the air. Ji Yuhao was fast, and most of Night Sorrow's attacks missed. However, he couldn't do anything to Night Sorrow. Seeing that he couldn't do anything to Ji Yuhao, Night Sorrow started to defend himself. This way, he wouldn't consume as much energy, but he would occasionally use the Space Crack and the Soul Slash. Night Sorrow's Space Crack and the Soul Slash still posed a great threat to Ji Yuhao, because the time nature didn't affect the space energy too much, and so did the Soul Slash. However, because of the time nature, Ji Yuhao could dodge in advance. This was also the reason why Night Sorrow's cultivation was not as high as Ji Yuhao's. Ji Yuhao could control a large area, so he could prepare in advance. Consume? I will consume you to death. Ji Yuhao said through gritted teeth. Come on. Night Sorrow didn't care about Ji Yuhao's threat at all. He wasn't afraid of a battle of attrition. The two fought in the air for half an hour, and Night Sorrow had consumed a lot of energy. Night Sorrow, come down. I'll fight with him. Seeing that Night Sorrow was exhausted, Yin Huang shouted. He was worried that Night Sorrow couldn't handle it. No need. Let's see who consumes who. Night Sorrow decisively switched his energy source, using the power of the Myriad Tao Bible and his own physical strength to fight with Ji Yuhao. However, because Night Sorrow's cultivation base was not as powerful as his Zhen Qi, he was immediately suppressed by Ji Yuhao. However, Ji Yuhao was still unable to defeat Night Sorrow, because Night Sorrow would use his Zhen Qi to fight, as well as the Space Crack and the Soul Destruction Cut. However, in the middle of the transition, Night Sorrow's left rib was struck by a sword Qi. However, with the protection of the Void Attribute Qi, the injury wasn't serious. After fighting for a while, the two of them were almost exhausted. Let's see how long you can last. Ji Yuhao shouted with a twisted face. Take as long as you want. I still have some Spirit Spring Spirit Liquid and Spiritual Essence Liquid. Night Sorrow took out a drop of Spiritual Essence Liquid and swallowed it. Then, under Ji Yuhao's shocked gaze, Night Sorrow quickly returned to his peak condition. Night Sorrow, who had recovered to his peak state, started attacking Ji Yuhao. Next time I see you, I will kill you. Ji Yuhao dodged a few spear lights from Night Sorrow and flashed away. Remember, this is not the end between us. Yishang looked at Ji Yuhao's back and shouted. He didn't chase after him because it was useless. Ji Yuhao's cultivation base was much faster than his and Tian Yu's, and he also had the power of time. It was impossible to catch up with him. Good dog. Don't run if you have balls. Yin Huang shouted. Night Sorrow looked at Ji Yuhao and didn't say anything. He knew that Ji Yuhao was a strong opponent. Night Sorrow, are you okay? Yin Huang came to Night Sorrow and asked. Just some superficial wounds, but we still won. Night Sorrow glanced at Ji Yufeng's body and said. Good for you. You can even take that. But this guy's time attribute is crazy. In fact, his time attribute is not time acceleration, but time deceleration. As long as our attacks get close to him, they will be slowed down by his time attribute. He can handle it with ease. Yin Huang was shocked. If he were in Ji Yuhao's shoes, he would never be able to withstand Ji Yuhao's attacks. He would be killed in a short while. Good, it's just some superficial wounds. Don't worry. Night Sorrow took off his torn robe and put on a clean one. What kind of body is this? Your wounds have already scabbed over? Noticing Night Sorrow's back and ribs, Yin Huang couldn't believe his own eyes. My body is strong, but it's just the surface. His sword Qi is still destroying my body. I need to take care of it. Next, I'll let Tianyu fly with the silver-winged eagle. Night Sorrow let Tianyu out and said. After that, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang continued their journey. Sitting cross-legged on Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow began to heal his wounds. Since the power of Desolates came from the same source as the time attribute, Night Sorrow began to use the power of Desolates to refine the energy left in Ji Yuhao's body. After flying for a day, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang set up camp. Night Sorrow roasted the deer that Tianyu had hunted. Are you okay? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'm fine, but I still need some time to fully recover. The time attribute sword chi is really strong. If I can't suppress it, it will destroy my body. Night Sorrow said. Jiyu's family is really shameless. 2 venerables came to kill us. They really think highly of us. Yin Huang was angry because Jiyu Hao's actions were very embarrassing. Normally, venerables wouldn't do such things. Hehe. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Night Sorrow said with a smile. It's nothing. How did you offend such a crazy dog? Yin Huang asked while helping Night Sorrow to roast the meat. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything. There was nothing to hide, so he told Yin Huang about the conflict with Jiyu's family. Damn, they don't like it, but they're still so shameless. They can even kill ordinary people. I really can't describe them. Yin Huang said. The problem now is whether they can continue to mobilize more people to attack us. If they send more high-level venerables, we won't be able to hold them off. Night Sorrow expressed his concern. 5p only G first positive VD version O. Percent has plus I he KZ Allah is a thief percent. Version this is indeed a big problem. You can say that it's a crisis for both of us. They have no bottom line. They can do anything. Yin Huang nodded. Today's situation was already very lucky. If they sent more venerables, they would be in big trouble. It's hard to say if they can chase us down or not. After all, it's not easy to chase 2 people in this vast wasteland. How about this? We can find a place and hide for 10 days to half a month. Even if they want to chase us down, they'll avoid us. Night Sorrow thought for a while and said. All right, then we'll find a safe place to stay. You can also heal your wounds. Yin Huang nodded. After roasting the deer, the 2 of them began drinking and talking about what they had seen. There's something else. This is that guy's storage ring. Yin Huang threw Ji Yufeng's storage ring to Night Sorrow. This time, I dragged you into this mess. Take this as compensation. Yi Shang threw Ji Yufeng's storage ring to Yin Huang again. Don't say that. Since we're brothers who fought together, there's no need to be so polite. Take it. Yin Huang threw the storage ring to Night Sorrow again, and said seriously. Chapter 609. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. Ji Yufeng was quite rich. He had over 200 pieces of top-grade spirit stones, and some other kinds of magic pills. Among them, there were 2 pieces of magic crystals with the nature of thunder. One was light purple, while the other was dark purple. Love go little say web, chew then, the 2 of them began to divide the crystals. Looking at the 2 thunder-attributed crystals, Yin Huang picked up the dark purple one and said, Dark thunder-attributed crystal, it matches my attribute. It's mine. You don't want this one? Night Sorrow looked at the other thunder-attributed crystal and asked. One for each of us. That one contains too much purple flame thunder energy. It's not suitable for me, said Yin Huang. Then I'll take it. My 9th sister is also my fiancée. She has the purple flame thunder attribute. Night Sorrow put away the purple flame thunder attributed crystal and said. Not bad, senior sister. You're good. Yin Huang gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. Yishang only smiled. He knew that Yin Huang was a happy-go-lucky and outspoken person, but there was absolutely no problem with his character. After each of them drank a jar of wine, the 2 of them changed their direction and flew for 2 hours. They found a suitable place to camp. It's my first time hiding from someone. How frustrating. This is not over yet. After setting up a big tent with Night Sorrow, Yin Huang cursed. Then the 2 of them talked for a while, then sat down to cultivate. Night Sorrow needed to heal himself, and continued to absorb the sword chi of time that Ji Yuhao left in his body. Ji Yuhao returned to Dragon Tail City, then took the teleportation formation back to Taiching City, to his family's stronghold. In the stronghold, Ji Yuhao told Ji Yuanhang what happened today. You can't make any mistakes. Don't get involved in this. I'll go and take a look. If I see them, I'll definitely kill them, said Ji Yuanhang with hatred, because Ji Yufeng was his big brother's youngest son. It'll be difficult to chase after them. After all, it's hard to find people in the vast wasteland. If Uncle wants to go, then bring some people and block them outside Dragontail City. They'll definitely come back, said Ji Yuhao. They didn't know that Yao Yang had also brought a few people to the Taiching domain, and even to Dragontail City. It was too easy for Tianji Tower to investigate some things. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang would drink and chat when they had nothing to do. The rest of the time, they would cultivate. Night Sorrow had been healing himself the whole time. Ji Yuhao's sword power of time was very hard to deal with. It took him 3 days to fully absorb the sword power of time inside his body and return to his peak condition. The two of them stayed for half a month before they once again set off towards the night moon. I'm so angry just thinking about it. The Venerable showed off his power to us. He's really shameless. Yin Huang, who felt very wronged, cursed again. What are you angry about? Didn't he run away in the end? Think about it from another perspective. He's more wrong than us. 2 Venerables came, but we killed one and the other escaped. He'll probably fly into a rage when he gets back. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Killing Ji Yufeng to avenge Gugu's father made him very happy. It could be said that Night Sorrow solved a problem. That's true. If you think about it this way, we're the ones who took advantage of him. He should be angry and sad. It's worth celebrating. Come and get the wine. Yin Huang, who was sitting on the back of the silver-winged eagle, waved at Night Sorrow. In the beginning, Yin Huang drank his own wine, but after drinking Night Sorrow's wine, he didn't like his wine anymore. Night Sorrow took out a jar of green blood wine and threw it over. There are 2 sides to everything. It's easy to misunderstand if you only see one side. Besides, they're venerables, and they didn't do anything to us. When we enter the venerable realm, it'll be even harder for them to kill us. Love Go Little say W Chu, however, that guy's attributes are indeed abnormal. If we can't restrain him, he can rely on his speed to stay in an invincible position. Yin Huang sighed and said, there's nothing that can't be solved. We can slowly think about it. Night Sorrow didn't think that the time attribute was scary. The power of Desolates and the innate bloodline power were comparable to the time attribute. The void attribute even surpassed the time attribute and suppressed it. Okay, I don't think there's any danger on the way. However, we have to be careful on the way back to Dragontail City. They might block the road, Yin Huang said. Yishang nodded. He had thought about this before, but he planned to go to Yiyuetian to take a look first. The 2 of them traveled during the day and rested at night to cultivate. They weren't very tired. Half a month later, the 2 of them arrived in the vicinity of Night Moon City. The battle had affected a wide area, causing the area to be very desolate. Some small cities had been severely damaged. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang entered a small city called Wuyo City. This small city was only 2,000 miles away from Night Moon City. After entering the desolate city, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang found a tea house. Why is it so desolate? Night Sorrow asked after ordering a pot of tea. Because the owner of this area hasn't returned. The owner of the tea house sighed and said. Night Sorrow lowered his head and took a deep breath. It's so desolate. If we don't rebuild it, everyone's living conditions will be lowered. Only and N is the original HF version, FS is the original, his QE is the pirated version. So what if it's lowered? Lowering living conditions in exchange for being able to fight when needed. It's worth it. The owner of the tea house glanced at Night Sorrow and left. There wasn't much business in the tea house because almost no cultivators came here. The people who lived here were all natives. They exchanged all their wealth for battle resources and waited for the Night Clan to return. Because even if they build it now, they can't withstand the robbery of other forces. Yin Huang said. Their faith hasn't changed. After so many years, their fighting spirit hasn't decreased. They're still waiting for battle. It's rare and precious. Night Sorrow's blood was boiling because these were the people of Night Moon Dynasty. Their obsession hadn't changed after so many years. After drinking tea, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang left the tea house and walked in the city. Desolate, with a sense of vicissitudes. There's no Wuyo at all. The damage left by the dynasties is too great. Yin Huang said. Maybe this really was Wuyo City back then. Night Sorrow said. Of course. This used to be Prince Wuyo's territory. It's the real Wuyo city. Although Prince Wuyo and young concubine are gone, we Night Moon people are still here. This is still Wuyo city. An old man with a walking stick heard Night Sorrow and Yin Huang's conversation and said, with faith and obsession, this will always be Wuyo city. Night Sorrow said with some emotion. Can you let me see the jade pendant on your waist? The old man was originally hunchbacked. When he saw the jade pendant on Night Sorrow's waist, he immediately straightened his back. His turbid eyes flashed. Yi Shang looked at the old man and met his gaze. He didn't know who this old man was. This was the former core of Night Moon dynasty. Night Sorrow had to consider whether there were people from other dynasties here. Chapter 610. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow nodded and took off the jade pendant from his waist. He glanced at it and handed it to the old man. Bloodthread jade. This is the real jade pendant of the royal family. I am Gu Jun. May I know if this jade pendant belongs to you, or? The old man said as he held the jade pendant with trembling hands. Let's find a place to talk. Night Sorrow knew that this old man should be an old man from the Night Moon dynasty. His emotional fluctuations could not be faked. After that, the old man called Gu Jun brought Night Sorrow and Yin Huang to a small inn. The small inn didn't seem to have any signs of life, but looking at the antique carvings on the lintel and the 2 pillars, as well as the sandalwood chairs in the inn, Night Sorrow knew that this must have been a very elegant and high-class inn in the past. Can you tell me more about this jade pendant? Night Sorrow asked. You have to tell me where this jade pendant came from before I can decide how much to tell you. Gu Jun had been sizing up Night Sorrow. That's fine too. This is a jade pendant that I've always carried with me since I was a child. I don't know the specifics, but I can tell you in detail. Night Sorrow then told him about how he had been adopted in the eastern Xian region. According to this, do you think you are Night Moon's descendant? Gu Jun looked into Night Sorrow's eyes and asked. Yes, so please enlighten me. Love go little, say, Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Gu Jun. You might be the descendant of Night Moon. However, it's only a possibility. I don't know if you're telling the truth, so I can't tell you too much. Gu Jun shook his head and said. You're being a little unreasonable. My brother has said so much to you and this is your answer? Yin Huang said somewhat angrily. I'm sorry. It's true that this jade pendant is from Wuyo City. You have the jade pendant, but it's still lacking in other areas. Gu Jun said after pondering for a while. AI, give me back my jade pendant. Night Sorrow was helpless. This old man called Gu Jun obviously knew a lot of things, but he didn't say anything. This is the jade pendant of Prince Wuyo from Wuyo City. Please cherish it. Gu Jun hesitated for a moment before handing the jade pendant to Night Sorrow. Yes or no, I don't need to prove anything. I just need to do what I should do. Night Sorrow didn't want to force this stubborn old man, so he shook his head and left the inn. The Night Moon Empire is already in such a state. Who needs to pretend? Interesting. Yin Huang glanced at Gu Jun before following Night Sorrow out of the inn. Unless you have the bloodline talent of the Night Moon Empire, no one will know anything from the Night Moon people. Gu Jun said as he looked at Yi Shan's back. That's right. Gu Jun said as he looked at Yi Shan's back. Night Sorrow thought for a while, and felt that this old man called Gu Jun was definitely not a problem. He turned around and unleashed his bloodline talent, causing a spatial rend to appear on the empty street. After the spatial rend was unleashed, a black spatial rend appeared in front of Night Sorrow and extended far away. Spatial rend. This is the spatial rend that only the direct descendants of the Night Moon Empire can unleash. Greetings, young master. The old man, who was Gu Jun, trembled and his eyes were filled with astonishment. In the end, tears appeared in his eyes as he knelt on one knee and greeted Night Sorrow. You're thinking too much. I'm not a young master. I just want to know how much you can tell me if this jade pendant belongs to me. Night Sorrow helped Gu Jun up from behind. Young master, please come in. Gu Jun bowed and led Night Sorrow and Yin Huang into the inn. Can you tell me now? Night Sorrow looked at Gu Jun and asked. Other than your family name, There are 7 cloud patterns at the bottom of your jade pendant. This is a jade pendant that only the direct descendants of the Night Moon Empire can possess. It is also the highest grade jade pendant. Behind it is the family totem, and below it is the pattern of Wuyo. The 5 lines in the pattern are obviously thicker. This proves that young master is the 5th generation, the 5th direct descendant of the Night Moon Empire of Wuyo City. Gujun said. How many 5th generation descendants are there in Wuyo City? Night Sorrow asked as he touched the jade pendant. There's only one person. This means that the owner of this jade pendant is young master. Gujun said. There are so few direct descendants in the Night Moon Empire? Yin Huang asked in astonishment. No, the other branches have many descendants. However, Wuyo only has one descendant. I'm not sure about the previous generations, but the undefeated King Prince Ling Huan's generation had only one descendant. Prince Wuyo's generation has only one descendant. Young Master's generation also has only one descendant. Gujun explained slowly. With Gujun's explanation, Night Sorrow had a better understanding of the hierarchy in the Night Moon Empire. If the 2nd generation entered the honorable realm, or made outstanding contributions to the empire, they would be conferred the title of emperor. If the 3rd generation entered the honorable realm, or made outstanding contributions, they would be conferred the title of prince. If the 4th generation reached a certain level, they would be conferred the title of prince. Their wives would be addressed differently too. They would be addressed as imperial concubine, princess concubine, young concubine. As for the rest, no matter how high their seniority was, as long as they were not at that level, they would be addressed as young master. Their wives would be addressed as madam. Back then, the city lord of Wuyo City, Yi Wuyo, was conferred the title of Prince Wuyo. He married the daughter of the city lord of Beiyu City. After their child was born, they went to Beiyu City to visit their relatives. When the war broke out, Gujun was one of Yi Wuyo's followers. Hence, he was very clear about it. At the critical moment, Yi Wuyo used the spatial ren to send his 2 guards and young master away from the battlefield. After that, he and his wife engaged in a bloody battle with the enemy. However, as they were outnumbered, they could only retreat with his wife and a portion of his followers. E at most D. New chapter, section L above UJ/. When Yi Wuyo and his wife retreated to the Night Moon Empire, the war broke out. After that, Gujun never saw Yi Wuyo and his wife again until today. Then I don't understand. Young master could be Night Sorrow. If he was sent away by Prince Wuyo using the spatial rend, how could his guards be killed? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and asked. This is not hard to understand. After tearing the spatial rend, Prince Wuyo did not enter. Instead, he used the spatial rend to send the 3 of them away. Under such circumstances, it could only be a short distance teleportation. This would require the guards to have the spatial rend crystal with them. If they could open the spatial rend again, the enemy could still chase after them. Gujun said. The space-breaking crystal was a kind of magic treasure unique to the Night Moon dynasty. It was made by a high-level cultivator of the Night Moon clan, by injecting the power of space into it. Night Sorrow took out a map and looked at it. After looking at it, Night Sorrow closed his eyes and stabilized his emotions. Beiyu City was in the northwest corner of the Taiqing domain. It was not far from the southern Sky City in the southeast corner of the eastern Xian domain. That means Prince Wuyo and young concubine did not die in the battle. After a while, Night Sorrow looked at Gujun with a hopeful gaze and asked. This old servant does not dare to say. As servants, we know too little about that battle. After all, those who can enter the Night Moon Empire are all titled. There are only a limited number of people who do not have titles. Servants do not have the opportunity to know. Gujun said. At this moment, Night Sorrow could almost confirm his identity. After receiving this information, Night Sorrow bowed to Gujun. Young master, please don't. This old servant used to be the manager of the city lord's mansion. How would I dare to accept such a bow from young master? Gujun saw Night Sorrow bowing to him and quickly bowed back. Night Sorrow, Prince Wuyo and young concubine should be fine. They might have left along with their family's strategy. Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and said. He was worried that Night Sorrow would take things too hard. Chapter 611. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. I believe they will be fine. Uncle Gu-jun, I will go to the night moon sky later to take a look. Night Sorrow said. Young master, please don't call me that. The night moon sky is very dangerous. I don't know for the past few years, but the people from the other empires have been monitoring that place to see if there are any core members of the Night Moon Empire. It's better if young master doesn't go. Gu-jun said. No. I must go. Night Sorrow shook his head and said. This old servant will make a trip first. Young master, please stay in this inn first, said Gu-jun. That's not appropriate. Night Sorrow wouldn't let Gu-jun take the risk. It's okay. I will go to the Night Moon City to pay my respects every year. Although I haven't entered the Night Moon sky, I can still find out the general situation. Gu-jun said. Night Sorrow, let's do as Uncle Gu-jun says. This is more appropriate. After all, we have just caused trouble. Yin Huang said. Young master, please follow me. Gu-jun brought Night Sorrow and Yin Huang to the inn, and arranged a room for them before leaving. Night Sorrow, I thought that you were the descendant of the Night Moon Empire. However, I didn't expect you to be the most direct descendant. After hearing Gu-jun's words, Yin Huang was greatly shocked. Actually, this isn't important. Whether I am the direct descendant or not, I will fight. As long as I am alive, the enemies of the Night Moon Empire will have to pay the price. Night Sorrow said. Brother, the Yin family empire and the Night Moon Empire are allies. Don't bear grudges. Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and quickly explained. I know. I even met the king of the Yin family empire a while ago. Night Sorrow said. You've seen our family's old man? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow in surprise. Baidu search, AI go female sign shall say www.aichuxs.com. Yin Tianlong is your grandfather? Then your seniority must be very high? Yishang looked at Yin Huang and sized him up. My grandfather was the youngest son of the old master. However, due to a congenital deficiency, he was unable to cultivate. Due to his short lifespan, he passed away a long time ago. Thus, the old master valued my father a lot. As for me, I am my father's youngest son. You know what I mean, Yin Huang said with a smile. After the two of them drank their tea, they strolled around the worry-free city casually. See, original UU chapter on DD. Wuyo City was desolate, barren, and devoid of people. But looking at the buildings, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang knew that it must have been very prosperous in the past because the buildings in the city were very stylish. When the two of them arrived at the city lord's mansion, they found that there was no one inside, but it was very clean. Night Sorrow could be sure that there were people cleaning this place every day. There's no need to look around. As long as there are people here, there won't be any problems when this place becomes prosperous again in the future, Yin Huang said. He knew what Gu-jun said today. The situation in Wuyo City still had a huge impact on Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded. The two of them did not continue to stroll around. After that, they returned to the inn to meditate and rest. Night Sorrow was now cultivating in several aspects at the same time. Since his true chi had reached the 9th grade void inquiry stage, he could not cultivate at full speed. He could only cultivate while accumulating his chi. After waiting for 5 days, Gu-jun finally returned. At this moment, Night Sorrow was actually very anxious. When he saw Gu-jun, Night Sorrow asked him about the situation. Gu-jun came back late. Firstly, it was because the journey was still a little far. Secondly, he was very meticulous in his observation. Hence, it was a waste of time. The information that Gu-jun brought back was that the night moon was very quiet. There was nothing unusual. However, there were still people who frequently went to the Night Moon City to pay their respects. After receiving the news that it was safe, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang left the inn and headed towards the Night Moon City. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang only used half a day to travel a distance of less than 3,000 li *, 500 m per li. The Night Moon City occupied an area of several thousand li *, 500 m per li. However, it was already in a dilapidated state. However, from the majestic city walls and city gates, one could see how powerful the Night Moon dynasty was in the past. Night Sorrow felt that the overall scale of the Night Moon City was not much different from Taiching City. Night Sorrow, let's calm down a little. The people of the Night Moon Dynasty just retreated. It's not like they were annihilated. They will definitely fight back. Yin Huang said. I know. I'm very calm. Actually, I came here this time mainly because I want to see the place where my family used to live and find out about them. As for the defeat, it's just in the past. It's nothing. If we lost in the past, we'll just have to win in the future. Night Sorrow's face was very calm. This was the state of mind. As his state of mind improved, Night Sorrow could face some things calmly. In other words, there were very few things that could affect Night Sorrow. The Night Moon City did not have any defenses. It could even be said that there were no guards. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang directly walked in. Currently, the Night Moon City was in a special situation. There were no supreme experts. Even if the Night Moon Dynasty still had supreme experts, they would not easily appear. As for the threat of demonic beasts attacking the city, there was no such thing. During the peak of the Night Moon Dynasty, all the high-level demonic beasts within tens of thousands of miles had been cleared. If low-level demonic beasts attacked the city, the cultivators in the city could resist them. As for the high-level cultivators of the other dynasties, they would not come here. This was because the wealth here was either taken away by the people of the Night Moon Dynasty or plundered. The high-level cultivators came here to monitor the situation of the Night Moon Dynasty. This was also something that happened more than 10 years ago. In these few decades, the Night Moon Dynasty did not make any moves. The other dynasties also did not pay attention to it. That would be a waste of energy. Walking in the Night Moon City, Night Sorrow looked around. He knew that there were traces of his parents here. Yin Huang did not speak along the way. He kept looking around vigilantly. He knew that Night Sorrow looked calm, but his mind was not focused. His thoughts were chaotic, so he had to rely on him for safety. The Night Moon City was very big. Night Sorrow did not look for a beast carriage. The two of them walked slowly on the streets. Yin Huang, who understood Night Sorrow's situation, quietly followed behind Night Sorrow. After walking for 4 hours, Night Sorrow smiled embarrassedly at Yin Huang. Then he called for a beast carriage and rushed towards the Night Moon Dynasty. Noticing Night Sorrow's smile, Yin Huang felt more at ease. This was because he knew that Night Sorrow's state of mind had returned to normal. He had walked out of his contemplation and reminiscence. In the afternoon, the two of them arrived at the Night Moon City. Night Moon Dynasty. When Night Sorrow paid the fee, the beast carriage driver took half of the fee. Since you are here, please do not blaspheme the Night Moon Dynasty. Looking at the back of the carriage driver, Night Sorrow felt a sour feeling in his heart. A carriage driver, an ordinary carriage driver, was also contributing silently to the Night Moon Dynasty. Not for anything else, but to prevent the Night Moon Dynasty from being blasphemed. Such a dynasty will definitely rise again. This is because glory and faith are already in their blood, in their bones. Yin Huang was also touched. Chapter 612. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The central area of the Night Moon City was the Night Moon Lake. The area of the Night Moon Lake was very large, spanning hundreds of miles. At the center was an island with a radius of hundreds of miles. That was the core area of the Night Moon Empire, the Night Moon Sky. At this time, the Night Moon Sky was full of broken beams and tiles. It was not that the people of the Night Moon did not want to repair it, but even if they repaired it, it would still be destroyed. In order to not be trampled on, the people of the Night Moon decided not to repair and build. Following an ancient stone bridge, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang walked towards the island. Night Sorrow reached out and touched the gap in the railing of the stone bridge. He flicked his finger twice. That was the gap caused by the sputtering of energy during the battle. That was the mark of a battle. Closing his eyes to calm his emotions, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang walked along the stone bridge towards the Night Moon. The two of them walked like ordinary people. Half an hour later, they arrived at the Night Moon. After looking around at the dilapidated scene, the two of them walked towards the center of the Night Moon. The wind from the lake blew against Yi Shang's robes, causing them to flutter. Yishang would occasionally look at the rubble that had been cleared out of the building. There were all sorts of energy slashes on it. An hour later, Night Sorrow arrived at a plaza. Behind the plaza was a destroyed palace. The square had been cleared out. In the middle of the square was a huge inscription with the words, Night Moon's Heroic Spirit, written on it. In front of it was a large cauldron with incense still burning in it. Everything told of the tragedy and injustice of that year. Night Sorrow reached out and touched the inscription. Then, he realized that the dark purple words on it were not dye at all, but blood. Yin Huang lit 2 incense sticks that were prepared by someone beside the cauldron, and placed them on the platform in front of the cauldron. Then he took out a few incense sticks and handed them to Night Sorrow. With a flick of his finger, Night Sorrow ignited the incense with his alchemic fire, and inserted it into the cauldron. Night Sorrow, let's kowtow a few times. Yin Huang said. No. I don't have the qualifications to kneel and kowtow in front of them now, but in the future, I will formally greet them. Night Sorrow waved his hand and quietly stood in front of the cauldron, looking at the inscription. After standing for a while, Night Sorrow brought Yin Huang to the damaged palace. There was a rectangular groove on the lintel of the main hall. Not far away, there was a cracked stone plaque with 4 words on it. Never setting night moon. A crack appeared on the stone plaque, and the 4 words on it were chopped off, leaving behind an energy ravine. Night Sorrow squatted down and wiped the dust off the horizontal board, as if he was wiping a treasure. Ai go xiao shua 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 w. Ai chu x. Com. After glancing at Night Sorrow, Yin Huang went to the side and found a large rock. Then he waved his scimitar and cut the rock. Then he started digging on top of it, and made a groove according to the size of the stone plaque. Nodding at Yin Huang, Yishang moved the broken stone plaque into the card slot, and embedded it properly. This way, the stone plaque would be protected. Thank you, brother. One day, I will hang this plaque here again. Whoever stops me, I will kill them. Night Sorrow's aura exploded, and his battle intent rippled in all directions. Good. If there's a battle, remember to count me in. Yin Huang patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said, I thought you would persuade me. Night Sorrow nodded at Yin Huang, and kept the plaque in his storage ring. Why should I persuade you? I believe you can do it. It's just that it might be a little difficult. Yin Huang smiled at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang did not leave. The 2 of them walked around the island, and came to the back of the night moon. Behind the night moon was a spatial hole filled with chaotic energy. The 2 of them could see the churning black seawater in the hole. Translator, Naibo Studio Editor. Naibo Studio. This was the place where the Night Moon Dynasty came from. It was also the origin of the Night Moon Dynasty, the Night Moon Sea. This is the forbidden area of the Night Moon tribe. Without the spatial Ren skill, you can't break through the chaotic spatial energy. Without the spatial energy protection, you can't survive. Yin Huang said. After a while, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang returned to the front of the monument. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and passed it to Yin Huang. He took out another jar of wine for himself and poured half of it in front of the monument. Then he drank the rest in one gulp. Yin Huang did the same as Night Sorrow. Ancestors of the Night Moon clan, you can rest in peace. Leave the battle to Night Sorrow. As long as I don't fall, Night Sorrow will definitely regain the glory that belongs to the Night Moon Dynasty. Night Sorrow shouted. You're back. That's enough. Yin Huang nodded. Shameless boasting. A remnant dares to speak. A black-clothed man appeared in front of Night Sorrow and Yin Huang. This guy is a level 3 honorable. Yin Huang said to Night Sorrow. He had a special detection technique that could detect the cultivation of an opponent who was less than 5 ranks higher than him. Don't worry. You should at least tell me where you're from. Night Sorrow shook his waist and the reincarnation spear appeared in his hand. He stared at the black-clothed man. Tianfeng Dynasty Chenhaoren. A long sword appeared in the black-clothed man's hand. Your Tianfeng Dynasty is still monitoring this place. Looks like you don't plan to let this go. Night Sorrow said. You're unlucky. Because today is the Night Moon night, the remnant of the Night Moon tribe came to pay respects to their ancestors. I came to see if there were any true remnants of the Night Moon tribe. I didn't expect to see you here. Destroy your cultivation and I'll spare your life. Chun Haoran looked at Night Sorrow and said. It was already dark. There were many people outside the square. They were all citizens of the Night Moon King city, who came to pay respects to their ancestors. All right. I don't know if I'm the unlucky one, or you are the unlucky one. The Night Moon tribe only has the souls of those who died in battle. There are no survivors. Night Sorrow stomped his feet, and waved his reincarnation spear towards Chun Haoran. Chun Haoran waved his long sword in the air, and the sword chi slashed towards Night Sorrow. While Night Sorrow dodged the sword chi, he started to fight with Chun Haoran. At this moment, the people of the Night Moon tribe who came to pay respects also took out their weapons, and were ready to fight. Don't move. You'll only cause trouble for Night Sorrow. Yin Huang blocked the group of people of the Night Moon tribe, who were full of fighting spirit. An old man looked at the battle in the air, and repeated Night Sorrow's words with trembling lips. The Night Moon tribe only has the souls of those who died in battle. There are no survivors. Prince Ling Huan said the same thing back then. The battle in the air was very intense. Chun Haoran was very fast and relied on the sword chi to suppress Night Sorrow. If Night Sorrow wanted to fight in close range, he wouldn't give him a chance. It was like a cat chasing a mouse. Dog-like person and dog-like tactics. A level 3 honorable still wants to fight in a guerrilla battle. Yin Huang scolded. Haha, you'll all die in a while. Chun Haoran laughed. He wanted to see the helpless expressions of this group of people. Then you'll die first. After Night Sorrow released the spear light, he released the space rend, followed by the soul destruction slash. Night Sorrow knew that Chun Haoran was very fast. If he didn't hit him, it would be troublesome if he attacked again. Therefore he didn't want to give him a chance to breathe and used his ultimate move to kill him. Under the moonlight, the black space rend was very obvious. Chun Haoran's expression changed and he dodged to the side. Chapter 613. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. When Chun Haoran's eyes were filled with fear, and he had no strength to resist, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear slashed across Chun Haoran's neck. He used his left hand to punch Chun Haoran's chest, and sent him flying. Chun Haoran's body flew backward. Night Sorrow chased after him and waved his reincarnation spear, chopping off Chun Haoran's arms. Then he grabbed Chun Haoran's long sword with his left hand and threw it with all his might. The long sword pierced through Chun Haoran's head and flew backward, nailing him to the tip of the tombstone. Today, I will use your blood to pay tribute to my Yi clan's martyrs. Slowly, I will bring the heads of your Tianfeng dynasty's leaders here. I, Night Sorrow, am coming for the Night Moon dynasty. The battle begins today. As long as you live, the battle will not stop. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear, which was still stained with blood, and roared. Your surname is Yi. Who are you? The old man who wanted to fight pointed at Night Sorrow with a trembling finger and asked. There will probably be more people coming. I don't have time to talk to you. You should leave too. Don't make unnecessary sacrifices. Yin Huang took Chun Haoran's storage ring and pulled Night Sorrow to the outskirts of the Night Moon dynasty. He was worried that there would be people monitoring this place. I will be back. Night Sorrow turned his head to look at the bloodstained tombstone and said. Love/go/little say web/w. AIQX. COM. After Night Sorrow and Yin Huang flew for a while, they released their mounts. Night Sorrow, you have to be careful now. Not to mention whether there are other venerables here. There must be spies from other dynasties. This matter might blow up. Yin Huang said worriedly. That can't be helped. Since we've been discovered, we must fight. Night Sorrow didn't want to be exposed so early, but the development of the situation was beyond his expectations. Ninth uncle, that young man used spatial rend. That's spatial rend. Another old man stepped forward and said to the first old man. Night Moon's direct descendant. That's Night Moon's direct descendant. Yi Qingfeng, bring people to clean up this place. Clean up as many spies as you can. It's best if the news doesn't spread. The old man shouted to the second old man. It's too late. Just now, there were already quite a number of black shadows leaving. The second old man, Yi Qingfeng, sighed. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang returned to Wuyo City and went to Gu Jun's inn. "Young lord, are you injured?" Gu Jun asked as he looked at the bloodstained Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow shook his head and took a clean robe to take a bath. Original T original 0L JT Yin Huang recounted what had happened during their trip. Young lord killed a level 3 martial honor opponent. That's incredible, Gu Jun said excitedly after hearing Yin Huang's story. After a while, Night Sorrow returned with a clean robe. "Yin Huang, you know that I went to take a bath. Can't you make a pot of tea?" "Night Sorrow, you really have the style of a young master. But because of your prowess today, I have to make this tea." Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow with disdain and started to make the tea. "Yishang. Young master's name should be Yi Xiaoxiao," Gu Jun said to Yishang after hearing how Yin Huang addressed him. "Night Sorrow. I'm drunk on this name. But it's also very elegant." Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and turned around. He couldn't help but laugh. Back then, young concubine gave young lord the name Xiao, hoping that young lord could live with a smile. Prince Wuyu felt that laughter was very important to a person's mentality, so he added the word Xiao. Hence the name Night Sorrow came about. Gu Jun explained the origin of the name Night Sorrow. "I might not be Night Sorrow. Even if I was, that was in the past. My current name was given to me by Father Gu, who raised me. It's to pay tribute to the 2 guards who died protecting me." Night Sorrow said. "Everything matches. There's no mistake about it. As for the name, we'll talk about it when we meet Prince and young concubine." Gu Jun said. "How about this, we won't leave for the time being. Uncle Gu Jun, you can go to Night Moon City and take a look at the situation. I don't want the citizens of Night Moon City to have to bear the consequences of my actions." Yi Shang was worried that the death of the supremacy would enrage those people and cause them to do something outrageous. Gu Jun nodded his head and left. He was also worried that something would happen in Night Moon City. "We have to hurry up and cultivate. Some martial honors are really shameless. They really did something to us," Yin Huang said. In the past, there were almost no cases of martial honors attacking ordinary cultivators. When Gu Jun arrived at Night Moon City, he realized that the situation was different from what he expected. Night Moon City was still very quiet. However, there was a sense of killing in the silence. The killing aura came from the guards of Night Moon City. They were patrolling the streets. Although their cultivation wasn't high, their fighting spirit was high. On the tombstone of Night Moon City, Chen Haoran's corpse was still hanging. There were people watching from the side. After asking around, someone said that the corpse would be exposed for 7 days to punish him for his blasphemy towards the ancestors of Night Moon Dynasty. After hearing Gu Jun's report and knowing that Night Moon City was peaceful, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang stayed. They didn't leave because they were worried. They were worried that if the news spread out, it would cause a huge commotion. They were worried that the consequences would be borne by the citizens of Night Moon City. Night Sorrow felt that if there was a battle, he would bear the consequences. Of course, Yin Huang would accompany him. In fact, just as Night Sorrow and Yin Huang predicted, Chen Haoran's death and the appearance of the descendants of Night Moon Dynasty caused a huge commotion in the Taiqing region. The Tianfeng Dynasty, Golden Dragon King Dynasty, Qingming Dynasty, Red Leaf Dynasty, and Seven Star Dynasty were all ready to make a move. However, at this time the Yin Dynasty's king, Yin Tianlong, sent out a king's order. If any faction dared to attack the citizens of Night Moon City, or if any martial honor dared to enter Night Moon City, the core members of that faction would be killed by him. If the appearance of the descendants of Night Moon Dynasty caused a huge commotion, then Yin Tianlong's king's order caused a huge commotion. Yin Tianlong was the vice city lord of Taiqing City. When city lord Yi Tian wasn't around, he was the person with the highest authority. This was a righteous order. And it was also due to the deterrence of an invincible martial honor. Yin Tianlong was an invincible martial honor. If anyone provoked him, he would kill that person. Who could stop him? The 5 dynasties wouldn't make a move for the citizens of Night Moon City, who weren't led by a martial honor. Lin Yuandao, who received the news, accidentally crushed the teacup in his hand. This brat killed a 3rd-level martial honor, and caused such a huge commotion. It's going to turn the sky upside down. He killed a third-level martial honor before entering the martial honor realm. That's cruel enough, but he also threw himself into the limelight. Le Trin Swan said. It's not a big deal, but it's not a big deal either. The dynasties probably won't directly send people to attack Night Moon City. As long as he stops for a while, it won't be a big problem. Once he enters the martial honor realm, ordinary martial honor realm experts won't be a match for him. His safety shouldn't be a problem, Lin Yuandao said after thinking for a while. The war against the Tianfeng dynasty can't wait any longer. It must be carried out as soon as possible, Le Trin Swan said. Chapter 6:14. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go divided by Xiao? We provide you with exciting novels to read. Yi Shang and Yin Huang were very comfortable in Carefree City. When they had nothing to do, they would take a stroll around Carefree City. The rest of the time, they would cultivate in the inn. Baidu search, AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichux. Song Gu Jun often left. He wanted to know the news outside. Night Moon Dynasty had been defeated, but there were many people and they were still well informed. Half a month later, Gu Jun told Night Sorrow and Yin Huang the news he had heard. My old man is really domineering, Yin Huang said excitedly. Will this bring trouble to your Yin dynasty? Night Sorrow said worriedly. Bullshit. They're awesome. Why don't they try provoking my Yin dynasty? My old man is an invincible venerable. He can't crush them. Attack our Yin dynasty? We have invincible venerables and many peak venerables. They wouldn't dare. Besides, they won't go to war. Yin Huang said with a smile. Love Go little say W. Chu you bastard. How do you know that they won't dare to go to war? Yin Tianlong, who was dressed in a black robe and had golden hair, appeared in the inn. Old master, you're here. Yin Huang rubbed his hair and bowed to Yin Tianlong. Night Sorrow also stood up and cupped his hands to Yin Tianlong. Not bad to be able to kill a venerable before entering the venerable realm. However, you're really bold. Yin Tianlong sat down and said. Old man, did you do something to my body? Yin Huang checked his body and asked Yin Tianlong. Nonsense. If I didn't leave a mark and you went missing, where would this king find you? Yin Tianlong glared at Yin Huang. Yin Huang rubbed his messy golden hair and didn't say anything. It's fine as long as the two of you are fine. Yin Tianlong took the tea that Yin Huang poured and glanced at Night Sorrow and Yin Huang again. Thank you, Your Majesty, for your help. Night Sorrow cupped his hands and said. Don't worry about it. I don't think the two of you are willing to leave with me. You can just stay here. If an expert appears, Yin Huang, take out your identity token. If they dare attack you after seeing your identity token, crush this. Yin Tianlong took out a milky white stone and tossed it to Yin Huang. What is this? Yin Huang asked as he held the milky white object. Soul cultivating stone. Inside is a soul clone. Night Sorrow whispered to Yin Huang. You know quite a bit. However, it's not a soul clone. It's just a strand of soul power. It'll be enough to resolve a crisis. At the same time, this king will also know the specifics of what happened back then. As long as he knows who it was, would he still dare to make a move? Yin Tianlong said. Then Yin Tianlong left. He wasn't a sloppy person. Although he was worried about the safety of his juniors, he still gave them enough space to explore. It's nothing big. We'll just stay here for a while, Yin Huang said. Night Sorrow nodded. He also wanted to stay here for a while and experience Wuyo City. Then the two of us will slowly cultivate. If we go out now and run into those shameless people, we'll still be unlucky. Yin Huang opened his mouth and said. I'm sorry, Yin Huang said. Once our cultivation increases, we'll go to their territory and kill them. We'll burn down their strongholds one by one. Night Sorrow clenched his fists and said. That's a good idea. I like it. Yin Huang clapped. Gu Jun wanted to say something, but he didn't say anything. He was worried about Night Sorrow's safety. However, Night Moon Dynasty had a hierarchy. There were some things that he couldn't interfere with. Night Sorrow didn't care about the outside world. He and Yin Huang cultivated in Wuyo City. When Lin Yuandao arrived at Eastern Xian region, he told Wu Lingfei everything. This guy is really restless. Then let's declare war on Tianfeng dynasty. Eastern Xian region's City Lord Manor and Celestial Peak's Imperial Palace can both send some people, Wu Lingfei said. Then I'll go inform the other regions. Then we'll meet at Celestial Peak Pavilion. Lin Yuandao stood up and said. After Lin Yuandao left, Wu Lingfei went to the training ground where the god-slaying team was. Seeing Wu Lingfei arrive, the god-slaying team members stopped cultivating. Your mission was given by your captain. Knight Sorrow isn't here, so I'll tell you about the situation. Tianji Tower and Eastern Xian region are going to declare war on Taiqing region's Tianfeng dynasty. Whether you want to fight or not is up to you, Wu Lingfei said. Wu Lingfei could give the order directly, but she didn't want to break the tradition of the god-slaying team. Besides, the god-slaying team wouldn't have much effect if they didn't fight. City Lord, where is our captain now? Ho Jian asked. He's also in Taiqing region, but he might have run into some trouble. Wu Lingfei said. I propose to fight. Xueling, Linglong, Li Yue, what do you all think? Ho Jian turned and asked the members in front of the god-slaying team. Captain isn't here. You and Xueling can make the decision. I can only obey, Linglong said. Fight. This is the best time to make Eastern Xian region famous. Xueling said. Then the members of the god-slaying team all agreed. Then get ready. We'll set off with the City Lord Manor and Tianji Tower later. Wu Lingfei left after giving the order. She still had to go to the City Lord Manor and Tianji Tower to mobilize people. However, the City Lord Manor had limited manpower. Only the Bloodstrike guards could be freed up. After all, some of the higher-ups had gone to Taiyue region. Ruling Taiyue region required a lot of manpower. Then the people of Eastern Xian region set off. They took the normal teleportation array. Wu Lingfei took everyone to the strategic teleportation array, because there was no teleportation array available. This time, the Extreme Heaven Tower's actions were very big. It could be said that all the 9 regions knew about it. They all knew that the Tianfeng dynasty was going to suffer this time. After all, if the Extreme Heaven Tower wanted to attack any force, no force would be able to stop it. Putting everything else aside, the Eastern Xian region and the North Sea region were now Tianji Tower's most reliable partners. What kind of strength was this? The Tianfeng dynasty could only be bullied. The only \square root of version b%. See others / all 0 unspecified currency is * steel version *ono1 spoke up for the Tianfeng dynasty. The main reason was that the Tianfeng dynasty was constantly challenging Tianji Tower's bottom line. In addition, the war between Eastern Xian region and Qingtian region had nothing to do with the Tianfeng dynasty. However, the Tianfeng dynasty insisted on interfering. The Tianfeng dynasty was gloomy. They used Tianji Tower to establish their prestige in order to establish their position as the #1 dynasty in Taiqing region. They thought that Tianji Tower's principle was to not fight for power, and that everything would be fine as long as they controlled themselves. However, they forgot one thing. There were some things that Tianji Tower wouldn't do, but if they had to silently admit that they were being slapped in the face, then they wouldn't be Tianji Tower. The Tianfeng dynasty quickly joined forces with other dynasties. The Golden Dragon King dynasty, Qingming dynasty, Red Leaf dynasty, and Seven Star dynasty all expressed that they wouldn't participate in this matter, because they knew that the angry Tianji Tower was not to be trifled with. Even if they attacked together, it wouldn't be useful. Besides, they all thought that they had nothing to do with it. Chapter 6:15. Genius 1 second. Remember love, Go Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Not to mention the Tianfeng dynasty, the current Heaven's Terminus Tower had the power to crush even the other great dynasties combined. The forces of the 9 regions tower in addition to the strength of the headquarters, and the first base had already dominated a region. The forces of Tianji Tower directly pushed forward, and the giants were watching from behind. This time, Tianji Tower planned to directly cripple the Tianfeng dynasty, because the Tianfeng dynasty had crossed the bottom line of Tianji Tower. When Tianji Tower advanced 200,000 miles, A man in a silver robe appeared and directly blocked the advance of Tianji Tower's forces. Several venerables were repelled, including the invincible venerable of the North Sea domain, Bei Tiange, Wu Lingfei, Lin Yuandao, Guo Xiao, and Lu Trinsuan, who received the news, all rushed to the city called Wings Spreading City. Saint, are you going to participate in the war? Wu Lingfei's golden phoenix soft armor protected her body as she directly rose into the air and stood opposite the silver-robed man. Saints shouldn't participate in such a war, but if I don't show up, the Tianfeng dynasty will be destroyed by Tianji Tower. What's the point of me following the rules? The silver-robed man said. In other words, only the Tianfeng dynasty can attack others. If others attack you, you don't have to follow the rules because you're afraid of being destroyed. The polar moon will appear on Wu Lingfei's body. If she didn't deal with this saint, Tianji Tower's attack would be blocked. Therefore, even if her cultivation was inferior to the other party, Wu Lingfei still had to fight. Baidu search Love Go Xiao Shua www.aichux.com. I don't want to fight. You're the ones who are forcing me. The silver-robed man waved his arm, and a large sword appeared in his hand. Chen Yuan, do you think I don't exist? If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. A figure appeared in front of Wu Lingfei, and then slowly solidified. It was a woman in a blue robe and a golden mask. Wuji Saint. It's not me who wants to fight, it's Tianji Tower who wants to destroy the Tianfeng dynasty. The silver-robed Chen Yuan bowed and said, his attitude obviously much more respectful. Destroy your Tianfeng dynasty? When the Tianfeng dynasty bullied Tianji Tower and went to Taiyue domain to fight, you died. Or are you pretending not to know? The blue-robed everlasting saint said coldly. Chen Yuan really doesn't know. Chen Yuan bowed. Don't play dumb with me. I own a tea house in Taiching City, and there's nothing in the world that I don't know. It's not that I didn't know about your attack on the Night Moon dynasty, but I felt that there was no point in asking about it after the fact, so I didn't ask about it. Since you're not going to abide by the Holy Accord, there's no point in keeping it. The blue-robed everlasting saint waved his arm, and a piece of golden paper with a radius of about 3 meters rose into the air. Then it started to burn. Everlasting saint, how can you do this? Chen Yuan's expression turned ugly when he saw the burning golden paper. The golden paper burned, and the golden light flew into the sky and spread out in all directions. How is that possible? All of you are attacking one by one. Is this holy accord made for me? The blue-robed everlasting saint roared. It's the Tianfeng dynasty's fault this time. I'll go back and restrain them. Chen Yuan cupped his hands and said, 0/0/0/0/0 if you didn't come out. I would have asked them to stop when it was about time, but now, it's too late. Lord K, as the Supreme Elder of Tianji Tower, I order all the people of Tianji Tower to continue to push forward 1,000,000 miles. Anyone who dares to stop us will be killed. The blue-robed everlasting saint raised his right hand, which was holding a token with the word, everlasting on it. Yes, Supreme Elder. Lin Yuandao and the others bowed and waved their hands to let the people on the ground continue to push forward. Tianji Tower's tokens were all made of metal, but the materials were different. There was also a Supreme Elder's token made of jade. The corner of Chen Yuan's eyes twitched, but he didn't say anything. If the Tianji Tower pushed forward another 1,000,000 miles, the territory of the Tianfeng dynasty would be reduced by more than half. However, if he resisted, the Tianfeng dynasty might be destroyed. Chen Yuan, let me give you a piece of advice. You can't bully the heavenly Tao. The consequences of attacking the Night Moon dynasty are very serious. You know too little. You don't know the real Moon Emperor, and you don't have the qualifications to know. Get lost. The blue-robed everlasting saint waved his sleeve, and waves of ripples appeared in front of Chen Yuan out of thin air, directly sending him flying. Lin Yuandao greets Supreme Elder. Lin Yuandao cupped his hands to the blue-robed everlasting saint. Wu Lingfei and the others also bowed. It shouldn't be a problem. The Tianfeng dynasty won't dare to resist. Come to my tea house to talk. The blue-robed everlasting saint nodded to Lin Yuandao and the others. Then the blue-robed everlasting saint led them to a small, inconspicuous tea house in the Taiching domain. You have a lot of questions, right? I'll just casually mention them to you. I used to be the head of the Tianji Tower. Do you know the name Xielanjun? The blue-robed everlasting saint said to them. Upon hearing this name, Lin Yuandao and the others rose to their feet and bowed again, because Xielanjun used to be the head of the Tianji Tower. The human race in the realm of unbounded desolation had changed because of Xielanjun. Then Xielanjun told them some secrets that no one knew about, which were the secrets of the ancient God Seal War. Whenever the Nine Realms world reached its peak, there would be inexplicable wars. Some outsiders would appear and slaughter the saints of the Nine Realms world. Some even said that they came to rob the saints of the Nine Realms world of unbounded desolation. It was like livestock that would be harvested when the time came. In order to avoid unnecessary consumption, the saints of the Nine Realms world of unbounded desolation signed an agreement not to interfere in the wars between realms and those below the Saint Realm. This agreement was known as the Holy Accord. The Holy Accord was proposed by the Moon Emperor, and I initiated it. However, there are still people who don't abide by it. Since that's the case, it's better to suppress them with force and eliminate those who don't abide by it, lest a rat spoils the whole pot of soup, Xielanjun said. The Moon Emperor. Isn't the Moon Emperor Night Sky an invincible venerable? How could he be qualified to propose the Holy Accord? Lin Yuandao looked at Xielanjun in surprise. He couldn't understand what Xielanjun was saying. The Moon Emperor is an invincible venerable. That's just his soul doppelganger. His true body's cultivation base is unfathomable. Even I don't know how strong it is. Xielanjun sighed. The Moon Emperor's soul doppelganger had already ought an entire era. This was something that no one else could compare to. Then where are his true body and soul doppelganger now? Wu Lingfei asked. She was very concerned about this because it was related to Night Sorrow. The Moon Emperor entered the Saint Realm with the power of space. However, he felt that it wasn't enough. Since he could break the spatial barrier, he traveled to different realms to pursue a higher cultivation base, Xielanjun said. Entering the Saint Realm with the power of space isn't enough. What kind of cultivation base is he pursuing? Guoxiao asked in surprise. He mentioned that he wanted to become a Saint Realm with the power of time and space. That would be second only to the saints with the supreme element. That would be truly invincible. Xielanjun revealed the Moon Emperor Night Sky's ambition. The Night Moon dynasty has been suppressed to this extent. If the Moon Emperor returns, wouldn't it be a storm? Guoxiao asked. Chapter 616. Genius 1 Second Remember Love Guoxiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Are they still very strong? Lin Yuandao asked. Baidu search Love Guoxiao say or www.ai2x.com. They are very strong, but they don't have a saint, especially Yi Linghuan, who is known as the Invincible King. He has been a half-step saint for a long time, but he was seriously injured by Qin Yuan's sneak attack. His origin was damaged and he has not recovered. The Sea of Night Moon is a place where space rules are very strong. It is only a matter of time before he becomes a saint, Xielanjun said. Qin Yuan is a saint and can control the power of rules. Didn't he chase into the Sea of Night Moon? If he did, wouldn't the Night Moon dynasty be destroyed? Wu Lingfei said. He wants to chase but he doesn't dare. The Sea of Night Moon is full of space turbulence. The people of the Night Moon dynasty, who have the protection of space energy, have the advantage. If several emperors of the Night Moon dynasty join forces and use their unique talent, the space crack, then Qin Yuan will die. Do you think he dares to chase? Xielanjun said the reason why the Night Moon dynasty was not destroyed, even if there were saints. Baidu search Love Guoxiao say a www.ai2x.com. Read novels for free for a long time. So that's how it is. I'm worried about that kid, Lin Yuandao said with a sigh of relief after knowing that the Night Moon dynasty was not destroyed. Which kid? Xielanjun looked at Lin Yuandao with some confusion. Grand Elder, I want to appoint a young master. He is a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. Baidu Xiao Sei Wuku Lin Yuandao said. The greatest significance of the Empyrean Terminus Tower's existence is to give cultivators some opportunities and balance out the relationships between some forces. Those in power must have a sense of justice and the overall situation. Does Tower Lord think that person can do it? Xiaolongjun asked Lin Yuandao. Grand Elder, here is all the information about Night Sorrow, from when he had no cultivation to when he was able to kill a venerable. There is also some analysis of his personality and temperament. Lin Yuandao took out a handbook and handed it to Xiaolongjun. Lin Yuandao had recorded all the details of Night Sorrow's growth in detail. Xiaolongjun read page by page. She even read some pages twice. Half an hour later, she put down the book. Xiaolongjun looked at Lin Yuandao, Wu Lingfei Guoxiao, and Lutrin Swan and said, according to the records here, his temperament is perfect, his combat strength is outstanding, and he can see the big picture. He is simply a perfect person. I'm not praising him, but he is a perfect seedling. He provided us with the origin stones to enter the Saint Realm and Half-Saint Realm. He didn't ask for anything in return. He didn't take advantage of Tianji Tower, Guoxiao said. He had a very good impression of Night Sorrow. Vice Palace Master Wu, you should be the calmest among you. You can even say that your state of mind is the best. What do you think? Xiaolongjun looked at Wu Lingfei and asked. When it comes to Yi Shan, I have the least right to speak. When I was injured in the Realm War, it was because of him that I was able to recover. He was also the one who brought me Source Stones and Life Saint Crystals to help me enter the Saint Realm. He calls me Aunt, so I treat him like family, said Wu Lingfei. Haha. So you all have unanimously agreed. Then there's no problem. After listening to what you said, my evaluation just now was still 1 point off. That guy still has great luck. Otherwise, the Space-Time Pagoda wouldn't have recognized him as its master. The matter of the Space-Time Pagoda still needs to be resolved, Xiaolongjun said. Why? Is there still trouble with the Space-Time Pagoda? Wu Lingfei asked. Yes, Saint Silver Dusk from the Qingtian domain doesn't intend to let it go. She just doesn't dare to go to the Eastern Profound Domain, Xiaolongjun said. Spirit treasures of heaven and earth belong to the virtuous. What else does she plan to do? She already went too far when she interfered in the Realm War. Who is afraid of her? Wu Lingfei became angry when she heard that the saint from the Qingtian domain didn't intend to let it go. In the past, I didn't know that the Space-Time Pagoda was in the hands of Tianji Tower, so I ignored her. Now that I know, of course I have to deal with it. Since the Covenant of the Saints has been burned, let's fight whoever wants to. Xiaolongjun also erupted with fighting spirit. Thank you, Grand Elder. Lin Yuandao bowed to Xiaolongjun. All of you are not bad, especially Vice Palace Master Wu. As long as you improve your cultivation, you will be an expert among the saints. That Qin Yuan is nothing compared to you. Foundation. Although many people value it, how many people can really endure it and advance with advanced attributes? Xiaolongjun looked at Wu Lingfei and nodded approvingly. She knew that Wu Lingfei had defeated Ji Yuhaitian. Yi Shang and Yin Huang's days were very pleasant. Every day, they would drink tea together, drink wine together, and then cultivate. Gu Jun went out to gather information every day. Now he wasn't the only one gathering information. He had already mobilized the people in Wuyo City to gather information elsewhere. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang were very excited when they found out that the Tianji Tower had declared war on the Tianfeng dynasty and defeated it. They immediately pulled Gu Jun to celebrate. The appearance of a saint has caused the world to be in chaos. However, it has also restrained the others. They won't dare to act recklessly. This is a good thing. Gu Jun said. Let's work harder. Once we reach the Venerable Realm, we will go and kill. We will kill wherever you tell us to. Every time we attack, we will change our location. Let's see what they can do to us. Yin Huang was very excited. However, it hasn't been long since I reached the Void Inquiry stage. I still need to stabilize my cultivation base. Night Sorrow said after sensing his cultivation base. Don't worry. Even if you aren't a Venerable Realm expert, isn't killing Venerable Realm experts like playing a game? Yin Huang admired Night Sorrow very much. Young Lord, no one in the Night Moon knows about your identity now. They only know that a direct descendant of the Night Moon's royal family has appeared. They are all furious and have formed guards in every city. As long as it's not a venerable realm expert, they won't be able to occupy our cities. Looking at the current situation, the people of the other dynasties won't dare to act recklessly. Our Night Moon can recover for a while. Gu Jun said. I hope that my appearance won't cause everyone to suffer a blow. Night Sorrow expressed the biggest concern in his heart. It won't. Young Lord's appearance has given everyone a pillar of support and hope. Young Lord, please wait for me for a while. Gu Yun left as soon as she finished speaking. After that, she took out a stack of square yellow satin. What's this? Night Sorrow looked at Gu Yun and asked. It was because Gu Yun was very serious. She was holding the satin with both hands. The Night Moon battle flag. Young Lord, please take care of it. Gu Jun knelt down on one knee and raised the yellow satin above his head with both hands. Night Sorrow stood up and received the yellow satin with both hands. Then, he shook his arm and unfolded the battle flag. It was a battle flag embroidered with a blue night sky with stars in the night sky, and a bright moon hanging in the sky. Later, the two of us will hang the battle flag in the sky of the night moon. As long as the venerable realm experts don't come, the two of us have nothing to be afraid of. No matter how many small fries come, we will kill them all. Yin Huang said. However, I will have to drag you into the water and fight together with me. Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang and said apologetically. Chapter 617. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang arrived at Night Moon Sky in the evening. Night Sorrow hung the battle flag on the top of the damaged Night Moon Palace. That's right. I don't think those dogs will come easily. After all, it's a chaotic situation now. The war at Tianji Tower has made them feel insecure, Yin Huang said. Night Sorrow nodded. He took out a jar of wine and threw it to Yin Huang. The two of them poured half a jar in front of the monument and started drinking. Just as the two of them were drinking, two old men appeared at Night Moon Sky with a group of guards. Yi Xiaoyuan greets young master. The old man bowed to Night Sorrow. The people behind him even knelt on one knee. Senior, you're exaggerating. I'm from Night Moon Sky, but I'm not your young master. Night Sorrow reached out and helped the old man called Yi Xiaoyuan up. You must be a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty to be able to use space rend. You must be the young master of the Night Moon dynasty. Also, Gu Jun has met me, so we know about young master, Yi Xiaoyuan said. I'm sure I'm from Night Moon Sky, but don't say anything else because it might not be accurate. You can just call me Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow said to Yi Xiaoyuan and the others. However, Yi Xiaoyuan and the others still insisted. Then, Yi Xiaoyuan told Night Sorrow that he had already formed a group of guards with the people of Night Moon Sky. As long as there were no venerables, Night Moon City would be safe. Let's leave it at Night Moon Sky for now. Let the other areas be built. I think even if they do something, they will target me and the direct descendants of Night Moon Sky. They won't target ordinary people. The king's order from the Yin dynasty and the war at Tianji Tower will affect them greatly, Night Sorrow said to Yi Xiaoyuan. Yi Xiaoyuan nodded, then turned around and gave the order to arrange this matter. Following that, Yi Xiaoyuan and Yi Qingfeng introduced the current situation of Night Moon City to Night Sorrow. Most of the people from the Night Moon dynasty who entered the Night Moon Sea were high-level cultivators and direct descendants of the royal family. Other than those who left, there were many other branches in the various cities of the Night Moon dynasty. However, because the main force was not present, continuing to fight would be a meaningless sacrifice. Therefore, the high-level cultivators who could easily attract the attention of the other party had already gone into hiding, leaving behind only the citizens below the 5th step. As for the subsidiary cities, some chose to leave and live in the mountains, while some chose to come to Night Moon City. Baidu search AI Go female sign shall say www.aichuexis.com. That is to say, there are still many cultivators in Night Moon City? Yin Huang asked. Yes, they used to live the lives of ordinary people. However, after young master appeared, everyone organized themselves. Other than the fact that there are no venerables in Night Moon City, everything else is on the right track, Yi Xiaoyuan said. Then let's continue like this. If there is a battle, they will come for me. They won't do anything to Night Moon City. Night Sorrow nodded, secretly praising the strength of the Night Moon dynasty. This was because the guards led by Yi Xiaoyuan and Yi Qingfeng were all late-stage fifth-step cultivators. This strength had far surpassed the Medicine Valley, when there were no venerables. Yes, young master, just be careful. Yi Xiaoyuan bowed to Night Sorrow. After that, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang left Night Moon City and rushed towards Wuyo City. Ninth uncle, he doesn't seem to care whether he is the young master or not. However, since he can use the space crack, he must be the young master, Yi Qingfeng said as he looked in the direction Night Sorrow left. He is from Wuyo City, which means that he is the only grandson of the Invincible Prince. He is the direct descendant of the Invincible Prince. If nothing happens to the Night Moon dynasty, he is the most likely successor to the throne, Yi Xiaoyuan said. This news must be kept a secret. If it is leaked, the other dynasties will definitely do anything to deal with young master. We can't let anything happen to young master, Yi Xiaoyuan said as he looked in the direction Night Sorrow left. The Invincible Prince Ling Huan is the flag of our Night Moon. Prince Wuyo has a high cultivation base and is loved by everyone. I believe that young Master Night Sorrow will also be the pride of our Night Moon, Yi Qingfeng said. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang stayed in Wuyo City and cultivated peacefully. Now Wuyo City had changed. Its popularity had increased, and it was no longer in a dilapidated state. In addition, the guards had also appeared and the city was peaceful. The news of young master's appearance is a great encouragement to the people of Night Moon. I believe that it won't be long before those reclusive Night Moon venerables return. Gu Jun brought a pot of tea to Night Sorrow and Yin Huang. This is what our Night Moon family owes everyone, Night Sorrow said. Young master, please don't say that. The Night Moon Empire was created by the Night Clan. Under the Night Clan, everyone is living a good life. Everyone is grateful and has no complaints, Gu Jun said. After Gu Jun left, Night Sorrow thought for a moment and had a plan. Brother, I'm going to fight. You can either wait for me here or wait for me in the Taiqing region, Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang after thinking for a while. You fight and I'll just watch? Isn't that a joke? Yin Huang stared at Night Sorrow. Yin Huang, we are brothers. Then I won't hide it from you. As long as I don't meet anyone that's too ruthless, I have ways to protect myself. After saying that, Night Sorrow disappeared in a flash and entered the space-time pagoda. The space-time pagoda's body turned into the size of a finger and floated in the air. Then it streaked across space and disappeared. Then, Night Sorrow appeared in front of Yin Huang again. Holy **T, what's going on? Today, I'm going to be shameless. I need to learn from you, Yin Huang said as he grabbed Night Sorrow's sleeve. Haha, I won't hide it from you. This isn't a cultivation technique, it's a magical treasure. You should have heard of the Qingtian region's Xiantian Pagoda, which is the space-time pagoda. It's in my hands. If I encounter a powerful enemy, I can hide in it and then escape, Night Sorrow said. Isn't that easy? Let's go fight together. When the time comes, both of us can go in and we'll be done. Yin Huang's face was filled with excitement. Then let's give it a try. Don't resist. I'll wrap you with my soul force and see if it works, Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang. He then communicated with Shao Kong. After communicating with Shao Kong, Night Sorrow released his soul power and enveloped Yin Huang before entering the space-time pagoda. This is the interior of the Xiantian pagoda. As long as I can come in with you, I'll be safe. Let's go. You choose the location and we'll start killing, Yin Huang said as he waved his arms excitedly. Since you're willing to fight with me, I, Night Sorrow, have nothing else to say. As long as I'm alive, I won't let you get hurt, Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang. Then Night Sorrow and Yin Huang exited the space-time pagoda. Chapter 618. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Alright, let's say goodbye to Uncle Gu and leave. The earlier we take action, the safer Night Moon City will be. Night Sorrow nodded. But we still have to investigate properly before taking action. Since they are shameless enough to use a venerable to kill us, we have nothing else to say. Let's be more despicable and kill them while ensuring our own safety. Yin Huang expressed his thoughts. At night, Gu Yin returned. Night Sorrow told her about his and Yin Huang's plan. No way. It's too dangerous. You are the direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty, and everyone's hope. You can't take such a risk. Gu Jun didn't care about seniority and immediately objected. New idiot is the fastest. I am the descendant of the Night Moon dynasty. I have to take responsibility. Although it's a little risky, it's worth it to exchange for the safety of millions of Night Moon citizens. Night Sorrow shook his head. Young master, you can't do that. Gu Jun's face was filled with worry. It's settled then. I will be careful. Taking revenge for Night Moon is my mission. I won't let myself fall before completing my mission. Yin Huang, let's go. Night Sorrow shouted to Yin Huang. Gu Yin helplessly watched Night Sorrow and Yin Huang leave. Riding on their mounts, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang each held a jar of wine and drank as they traveled. This time, the two didn't head towards Dragon Tail City. Instead, they chose Thousand Creek City, the closest city to Wind City in the Night Moon region. The two of them planned to kill from Thousand Creek City. Oh right, that Chun Something's venerable ring is still with me. Come over quickly and let's split the loot. Yin Huang waved at Night Sorrow. This was Yin Huang. He knew that Night Sorrow wouldn't accept it even if he gave it to Night Sorrow. Hence, he directly called for Night Sorrow to split the loot. Coming. Hearing Yin Huang's words, Night Sorrow didn't argue. With a flash, he landed on the back of the silver-winged eagle controlled by the ghost wolf. With a thought, Yin Huang opened Chun Haoran's storage ring. Chun Haoran was a venerable one, so his foundation was relatively solid. What shocked Night Sorrow was that this guy had a space crystal. Although it was not big, it could still split into two. Take this. We'll split it into 5 high-grade crystals, 150 per person. Yin Huang said as he tossed the space crystal to Night Sorrow. That won't do. This spatial spirit stone is more valuable than anything else, Night Sorrow said. The Yin dynasty has set up all the teleportation formations that should be set up. But what about you? If you want to rebuild the Night Moon Empire, don't you need to build a teleportation array? If you need it, then don't talk nonsense with me. Chun Haoran was killed by you. Why should I be so thick-skinned as to share the loot with you? Because we're brothers, you know. Yin Huang waved his arm and put away half of the spirit stones. That's true. We're all brothers. Why would I be so courteous with you? That would be treating you as an outsider. Night Sorrow smiled at Yin Huang. He knew that Yin Huang treated him as a brother. If he continued to be pretentious, then it would be meaningless. Yin Huang laughed heartily. He liked the feeling of having brothers. His cousins in the Yin dynasty all had a sense of self-interest, but he didn't like it. That was why he had been wandering alone all these years. I'm not worried about Night Sorrow. What I'm worried about is Jiyu Hao. He has the power of time. He's too hard to deal with, said Yin Huang. Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang and asked, will you be able to protect yourself against him after you enter the Exalt realm? Defeating him is impossible. However, in a short battle, you should be able to protect yourself. After all, I cultivate the lightning attribute. Moreover, it is an attribute that is infinitely close to the pinnacle of Black Fury lightning. You have a chance of defeating him. So the crux of the problem lies with you. Yin Huang said to Yishan. Let's go. Yin Huang said to Yishan. I'll be fine. As long as I become a venerable one, I won't be suppressed by him anymore. Night Sorrow said confidently. That's good. This is the first time I've been bullied in so many years. You've got to help me get back at them, Yin Huang said. Night Sorrow smiled at Yin Huang. I have some good wine that I want to try. Do you want to try it? Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and take it out. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Yin Huang's eyes lit up. Yishang took out a jar of Sun Dragon wine, then took out a wine bowl and poured a bowl for each of them. Yin Huang took the wine bowl and drank half of it. F***CK. What wine is this? I can't take it anymore. I need to meditate and cultivate. After drinking half a bowl of wine, Yin Huang's face was red. He couldn't bear to part with the remaining half of the wine. He took out a pill bottle and poured the wine into it without looking at what kind of pill it was. Then he closed his eyes and meditated. Night Sorrow held the wine bowl and looked at the meditating Yin Huang. Then he looked at the silver-winged eagle. Ghost Wolf, I'm Yin Huang's brother. Just keep flying forward. Night Sorrow returned to Tianyu's back and looked at the wine bowl in his hand. Night Sorrow drank it in one gulp. After drinking it, Night Sorrow understood why Yin Huang's face changed, and why he needed to meditate and cultivate. The Sun Dragon wine contained blood and yang qi that was too strong. Night Sorrow also sat down and started to cultivate. It took Yishang 4 hours to refine a bowl of wine. He could feel that the cultivation of the myriad Tao treasured tome had increased. There was also an evil feeling in his heart. Yishang knew what was going on. It was the excessive yang qi. In the evening, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang woke up from their meditation. What wine is this? It's killing me. I need to find a city quickly. I can't take it anymore. I need to find a girl. Yin Huang tidied up a part of his robe. Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang and laughed. How do you feel? Great. I just can't take it. When you need it, drink a little. The effect is definitely strong. Yin Huang gave Night Sorrow a thumbs up. Can I give you some more? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Huang and asked. Not for now. When I need it, I'll ask you for more. What is this wine made from? Yin Huang asked, puzzled. It's made from the dragon root of a pinnacle honorable 5-clawed pterosaur, and some precious herbs. Night Sorrow said. The dragon root of a pinnacle honorable 5-clawed pterosaur? You're ruthless. In the 9 regions and 18 states, there's no one else like you. Yin Huang took a deep breath and said. I'm cultivating my body. That's why I need these things. Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang. All right. Give me a jar of the other wine. Yin Huang said. Let's set up camp later. We'll make some barbecue before drinking. Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang. Then Tianyu caught a wild deer. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang set up camp. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang were both solo trainees. They were very good at cooking barbecue. Then, the two of them cut the deer meat to go with the wine. We're still 3 days away from Thousand Creek City. When the time comes, you'll be in charge of fending off the experts. I'll take care of the underlings and light the fire. Yin Huang said after taking a sip of wine. Chapter 619. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I'll provide you with interesting novels to read. I'm not stupid. Can't I wear a veil or something? Yin Huang said to Night Sorrow. Love gom little say w2 yeah that's for the best. Night Sorrow nodded. This mask is quite unique, but I can't bring trouble to Tianji Tower. Yin Huang flipped his palm and tossed a mask back and forth. Yishang stretched out his hand and caught the mask that Yin Huang had thrown into the air. After taking a serious look at it, Yishang smiled. We can really play together in the future. Yin Huang took the mask from Night Sorrow and looked at Night Sorrow. What's wrong? You are a celestial emissary of Tianji Tower. Coincidentally, I also have a mask like this. Night Sorrow also took out his celestial mask. That D*MN supervisor told me that there are only 3 celestial emissaries in Tianji Tower, including me. Why are there so many celestial emissaries now? Yin Huang said with some dissatisfaction. What do you mean by so many? Including you, there are only 3 celestial emissaries. It's really fate that we can meet in advance. Night Sorrow was speechless. So many celestial emissaries? There were only 3 celestial emissaries in the 9 regions and 18 prefectures. Haha, my mouth really doesn't know how to speak. Yin Huang also realized that his words were wrong. That's just you. I don't mind. However, if that person hears this, she will definitely not be happy, Night Sorrow said with a smile. I'm really happy. I've always been worried that after joining Tianji Tower, I would be restricted and have no like-minded companions. Now I'm relieved. By the way, what's the situation with that person? Yin Huang asked. Night Sorrow briefly explained Linglong's situation and the God-slaying squad situation. The situation is good. I'll go with you to see the god-slaying squad when the time comes. I acknowledge you as a brother, but I want to see the others. Not everyone can be my brother, Yin Huang said as he drank. Haha. They are all good men. Not everyone can be my brother, Night Sorrow said. After eating, the two of them began to meditate and cultivate. Tianji Tower directly pushed forward 1,000,000 miles and announced to the outside world that this area was the territory of Tianji Tower's first base. Whoever wanted it could come and try. Tianji Tower was not willing to fight, but whoever wanted to fight, they would definitely accompany them to the end. Even the self-proclaimed #1 force in the Taiqing region, the Tianfeng dynasty, was no match for Tianji Tower, so the other dynasties didn't dare to act recklessly. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ai2xs. So the main reason was that the strength displayed by Tianji Tower this time was too strong. It swept through the Tianfeng dynasty like it was a game. Such a battle situation shocked the 9 regions. At that time, many people in Spreading Wings City knew that Saint Chen Yuan of the Tianfeng dynasty didn't dare to take action. This invisible deterrent force made all the forces not dare to act recklessly. If Tianji Tower claimed to be the #2 force in the 9 regions, no force would dare to claim to be the #1. In the later part of the battle, the members of the Tianfeng dynasty retreated voluntarily. However, they were forced to retreat in the early part of the battle. They lost a lot of people and could be said to have suffered a serious blow. Their reputation was damaged, and their strength plummeted. AI Go Xiaosei W. Chu after expanding their territory by 1,000,000 miles, Tianji Tower didn't directly rule. They still handed over these occupied areas to some subsidiary forces to manage. However, everyone knew who the territory belonged to. Such a situation made all the forces in the Taiqing region not dare to act recklessly. They knew that the Night Moon dynasty had begun to recover, but they didn't do anything. Everyone was worried that if they jumped out at this time, they would be attacked by Tianji Tower. After all, the Night Moon dynasty was such a large area. Who knew if Tianji Tower would care about it? The Golden Dragon King dynasty and the Qingming dynasty even withdrew from the territory of the Night Moon dynasty that they had previously occupied. The Yin dynasty also made a move. They directly set up a blockade around the Night Moon dynasty and announced that anyone who dared to touch the ordinary people in the Taiqing region would be declaring war on the Yin dynasty. The other 5 dynasties didn't react to the Yin dynasty's actions, which was equivalent to tacit agreement. At this time, no one wanted to become enemies with the Yin dynasty. It should be known that Yin Tianlong's strength was outstanding, and his identity as the deputy city lord could also summon a large number of cultivators. When the 5 dynasties attacked the Night Moon dynasty back then, Yin Tianlong wasn't there. Otherwise, the 5 dynasties wouldn't have been so unscrupulous. Night Sorrow and Yin Huang continued to sneak toward Thousand Creek City. Thousand Creek City was a relatively remote city in the Sky King dynasty. There weren't many soldiers guarding it. This was also the reason why Night Sorrow and Yin Huang chose to go there first. The two sneaked into Thousand Creek City in the middle of the night. Under the cover of the night, the two of them directly went to the city lord's mansion and began to assassinate. Yong Agio plus free reading. Novel's Night Sorrow's soul force was strong, and his detection ability was strong. Unknowingly, most of the city lord's mansion's guards were killed by Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow's actions were still discovered by a peak rank 5 guard commander. Although this guard commander was only able to block a few moves before being killed by Yi Shang, it was enough to stop Yi Shang's assassination. Since they couldn't assassinate, they had to fight openly. Night Sorrow also understood the situation here. There was only one city lord who was a beginner supremacy. A beginner supremacy was nothing in Night Sorrow's eyes. Night Sorrow continued to kill people. Yin Huang blocked the city lord's mansion's door and continued to kill people. His pair of scimitars slashed the guards until they cried out. He even took the prepared fire torches and threw them around the city lord's mansion. Night Sorrow and the city lord, who was a rank 2 supremacy, attacked each other. The city lord's mansion's guards also surrounded Night Sorrow. However, the sword chi and scimitar couldn't even break through Night Sorrow's protective barrier. "Brother, you hold on. I'll go loot the storeroom. Yin Huang shouted as he rushed into the city lord's mansion. As he rushed, he killed and set fire to the city lord's mansion. Don't worry, I'll hold them off. Night Sorrow shouted. Right now, he didn't feel any pressure at all. Who exactly are you people? Do you think our Skywind dynasty is easy to mess with? The city lord shouted as he fought. Right now, he was completely suppressed by Night Sorrow. Therefore, he hoped to use the name of the Skywind dynasty to scare off the two robbers, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang. In his eyes, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang were two daring robbers who didn't care about their lives. Trying to scare me with the name of the Skywind dynasty? You're thinking too much. Hearing the city lord shout, Yin Huang shouted back. There's no harm in telling you. I'm Night Moon Night Sorrow. As long as I'm alive, your Skywind dynasty will never have a day of peace. If I have the time, I'll come and kill everyone from your Skywind dynasty. Night Sorrow didn't plan to hide his identity. Not intending to continue fighting, Night Sorrow used his innate skill, Spatial Rend. Then he rushed forward and used his reincarnation spear to attack the city lord. When the city lord of Thousand Creeks City saw Night Sorrow's Spatial Rend, his expression changed drastically. He waved his sword to block it. Because the two of them were too close, there was no way for him to dodge. Gotcha. The city lord of Thousand Creeks City's weapon shattered, and his right arm was cut off by the Spatial Rend. At this moment, Night Sorrow's right arm shook violently and the reincarnation spear pierced through the city lord's chest. Then Night Sorrow pushed the city lord forward until they reached the white wall of the city lord's mansion. Chapter 620. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go divided by Xiao? Talk Web, providing you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow left 7 words. Night Moon Night Sorrow, I'm coming. On the white wall, the 7 words in bright red were very eye-catching. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ahuxis. Siom Night Sorrow then took the unlucky city lord's storage ring and left Thousand Creeks City on a flying beast with Yin Huang, who had set the place on fire and robbed the warehouse. 2,000 miles away from Thousand Creeks City, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang set up camp. No one can become rich without a windfall. I found 2 chests of spirit stones and a pile of materials in the storehouse of the city magistrate's mansion. With that, Yin Huang waved his hand and 2 chests appeared, along with a pile of materials. Not bad, the harvest is quite big. Night Sorrow said. Let's see what's inside first. Yin Huang opened the boxes. There were 2 boxes of spirit stones inside, but they were all middle-grade spirit stones. There were less than 100 high-grade spirit stones. I don't want the spirit stones. I'm an alchemist. Just give me the materials. Night Sorrow said. No, the materials are trash to me. They don't count. We'll split the spirit stones. Yin Huang didn't wait for Night Sorrow to speak and took half of the spirit stones. All right. You're generous. Night Sorrow smiled and kept the materials. Actually, it's not that I'm generous, it's you. Because you don't need the materials for a rank 4 pill. After you refine it into a pill, you'll give it to others. You're willing to give up half of your benefits for others. That's why you're more generous than me. Yin Huang said. Night Sorrow shook his head. It's good as long as I have enough resources. If I can help those around me, I'll help them. /update with new. Fastest % ion plus. That's why the materials are yours. Night Moon also needs the supportive pills. Yin Huang said. There are still resources here that we haven't divided. Night Sorrow took out the storage ring of the venerable city lord, and took out the resources inside. A venerable level cultivator was rich. The resources in this storage ring were even more abundant than the city lord's mansion storage that Yin Huang had robbed. The 2 of them laughed and divided the loot. After resting for a night, the 2 of them continued on their journey. Yin Huang and Night Sorrow held the map, and chose the cities they wanted to attack on the Windy Dynasty's map. In over 20 days, Night Sorrow and Yin Huang had massacred 6 cities. They had killed 4 venerable level city lords and plundered a lot of resources. While they were rushing to set up camp, Night Sorrow was refining pills. Whether it was tier 3 or tier 4 pills, he was even refining tier 2 pills. He wanted to prepare a batch of resources for Night Moon City. I don't believe that he didn't leave a backup plan. Whoever believes that is a fool. Xie Longjun muttered and left the underground hall. Yes, we are too nervous. It should be fine. Let them do what they want. Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Wu Lingfei and the others came to a courtyard. City Lord, what's the situation with our captain? Ho Jian asked. I don't know, but they are safe. No one knows where they are. Wu Lingfei looked at Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu and said, Can we go out and fight? Yang Lei asked. No. Knight Sorrow and the others can kill venerables. Even if they can't kill them, they can guarantee that they can escape unscathed. Can you? Wu Lingfei said with a frown. Hearing Wu Lingfei's words, no one said anything. No one could guarantee that they could escape unscathed like Knight Sorrow. If you are willing, then go to Night Moon City and take a look. If anyone dares to cause trouble in Night Moon City, you can help Knight Sorrow as much as you can. After thinking for a while, Wu Lingfei gave the God-slaying squad a suggestion. The members of the God-slaying squad bowed to Wu Lingfei, and then prepared to set off. The dynasties of the Grand Pure Domain were in chaos because of Knight Sorrow and Yin Huang's robbery. However, Night Moon City was in an uproar. Once news of Knight Sorrow attacking a city spread, Night Moon City would be in an uproar for a while. The main reason was that the people of Night Moon City had been suppressed for too long. The Night Clan was their pride, and now Knight Sorrow was regaining that pride. On an island in the sea, the purple-robed man trembled as he listened to the report from the scout in front of him. Spatial Rend. Night Moon Dynasty. Knight Sorrow. Investigate with all your might. I want to know everything about him. Also, pay attention to the situation in Night Moon City. The purple-robed man issued a series of orders. Chapter 621. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. After thinking for a while, the purple-robed man turned around, tore open space, and disappeared again. The current situation in the Tai Ching domain was beyond his expectations. It should be beyond the expectations of the Night Moon clan. After eating and drinking in the camp once again, Yin Huang said, My cultivation has reached a bottleneck. It's just that my realm is a little lacking. How about you? I can't do it. I still need some time. However, I will be in seclusion tonight. If it goes well, we will continue the plan tomorrow. If there is not enough time, we will postpone the plan, Knight Sorrow said. After this period of battle and hard work, Knight Sorrow's vital energy cultivation and soul cultivation were increasing. The most obvious improvement was in the cultivation of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome. It had reached the bottleneck of the peak of the level 6 Dao Querying Realm. Knight Sorrow planned to break through tonight and break through to the level 7 Dao Querying Realm. That way, his actual combat strength would increase again. Every stage of a cultivator was divided into 3 stages. The first 3 stages were the initial stage, the middle 3 stages were the intermediate stage, and the last 3 stages were the advanced stage. The combat strength of the 3 stages was completely different. Under normal circumstances, without taking into account other factors, the combat strength of the intermediate stage and the advanced stage was quite different. Yin Huang nodded. He knew that everyone's cultivation was different. When one needed to tidy up, going into seclusion might not necessarily mean advancing. Love Gob Little Say W. Chu sitting in the tent, Knight Sorrow communicated with Little Kong. After shutting off all the energy input, he took out the mystic turtle crystal and started cultivating. With the cultivation of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome, advancing to the Dao Querying Realm was easy. As long as one's cultivation was stable enough, they could advance naturally. After spending a night, Knight Sorrow successfully advanced the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome to the level 7 Dao Querying Realm. Knight Sorrow sensed it, and realized that the strength of his body had increased again. His strength had increased by quite a bit. In addition, he sensed that the Essence Chi beacon was now 4.5 feet high. Holding the reincarnation spear, Knight Sorrow cultivated for a while. He felt pretty good. The advancement of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome had increased his combat strength by quite a bit. Your cultivation base did not increase, but I can feel that your condition is different. Additionally, Your essence energy smoke has increased, said Yun Huang as he looked at Night Sorrow. Yes, I'm still cultivating my body. Last night, I made some progress in my body cultivation, Night Sorrow said. No wonder. After drinking the Sun Dragon wine, I couldn't take it anymore and wanted to go into the city to look for my little sister. But you were fine. Yun Huang looked at Night Sorrow and said. Haha. That's because your willpower isn't strong enough, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Bullshit. Why don't you try having a pillar supporting the sky every day? Yun Huang looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Ba is the only original version $J, and the other G are all square root pirated. Night Sorrow could only smile. He knew how powerful the Sun Dragon wine was. When he had just drunk it and had yet to refine it, he was also flustered. After that, the two of them continued their journey and continued to loot and kill in the Qingming dynasty's territory. Now the two of them were even more cautious than before. They entered the city during the day to investigate. If they found that they could get through, they would kill at night. After massacring 3 more city lord mansions in the Qingming dynasty, Yishang and Yun Huang realized that things were not going well. They went into the city a few times and found supremacies with cultivation levels that Yun Huang couldn't see through lurking in the city lord mansions. Yun Huang couldn't see through their cultivation, which meant that they were at least level 4 sovereigns. The lowest was mid-level sovereigns, which wasn't something that the two of them could fight against. After a few more cities, the two of them felt helpless. After that, Night Sorrow decided to go back and attack the Tianfeng dynasty. Yun Huang agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. After knowing that the two of them had entered the Qingming dynasty's territory, the Tianfeng dynasty should let down their guard. Their plan went smoothly, and they destroyed another 3 cities in the Tianfeng dynasty. After failing again, the two of them rushed towards the Night Moon City. At this time, Night Sorrow had accumulated a lot of resources. He didn't have many level 5 pills, but he had a lot of level 3 and level 4 pills. Night Sorrow planned to send them to the Night Moon dynasty. Haha, this is great. I've never felt so good before. Yun Huang sat on the back of the silver-winged eagle and counted his gains while drinking wine. At first, Yun Huang wanted mid-grade spirit stones, but he didn't want them anymore. To him, mid-grade spirit stones were just like drinking tea or taking a teleportation circle. They had no other use. In the end, he gave them all to Night Sorrow. Because the demand for resources in the Night Moon City was high, there were more low-level Night Moon people. Night Sorrow's storage rings were filled with mid-grade spirit stones and pills. Night Sorrow believed that they would be of great help to the people of the Night Moon. He also had a lot of level 5 pills, but he didn't have many void pills. He had enough clear void pills to last for a while. Let's go back. I'll walk around the Night Moon City and see if there are any beauties. I'll find one to be my wife. If she can give birth to a son with the bloodline of the Night Moon dynasty, that would be even better. Yun Huang said. I hope you get what you want. When the time comes, I'll give you a big gift. Night Sorrow said. No need to give me a big gift. Just give me a small bottle of your Sun Dragon wine. Yun Huang looked at Night Sorrow and said. You still dare to drink Sun Dragon wine? Don't you remember what happened last time? Night Sorrow said to Yun Huang with a smile. If I get what I want, doesn't that mean I have a wife? I only need Sun Dragon wine if I have a wife. Yun Huang looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at an idiot. That's true. I didn't think it through. Night Sorrow said as he rubbed his forehead. After a few days, Night Sorrow and Yun Huang arrived at Wuyo City. In less than 2 months, Wuyo City had changed a lot. The city was no longer desolate. It was full of life. It even had the spirit of Wuyo. Night Sorrow and Yun Huang walked around Wuyo City and came to the inn. Seeing that Night Sorrow and Yun Huang had returned safely, Gu Yin was very happy. Night Sorrow took out 2 storage rings and said, There are spirit stones and elixirs in here. Uncle Gu, you can use them to improve the living conditions of the people in the city. Now that the few dynasties won't attack for no reason, we can do some construction here. How can we do that? How can we take young master's resources? Gu Jun shook his head. Uncle Gu, just take it. This time, the 2 of us went out to rob. We're both very rich. Yin Huang said with a smile. If I'm really Yin Xiaoxiao, it's only right that I do something for Wuyo City. Night Sorrow stuffed the 2 storage rings into Gu Jun. Young master, you're really Yi Xiaoxiao. I'm not talking about your name. I'm saying that you're definitely the young master of Wuyo City. Gu Jun said. Uncle Gu, just let me know if you need anything. I'm going to take a look at Night Moon City and pay my respects to the ancestors. Wuyo City needs to continue its recovery. It's best if it's the real Wuyo City, Night Sorrow said to Gu Jun. Then he rushed towards Night Moon City with Yin Huang. At this moment, at the city gate of Night Moon City, Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu and the God-slaying team were stopped. They were not allowed to enter the city. Can you call someone who can make the decision here? We don't have any ill intentions, Yang Lei said. We didn't say that you have ill intentions. We don't have ill intentions either. It's just that the situation in Night Moon City isn't suitable for strangers, the guard of Night Moon City said. Chapter 622. A genius remembers love in a second? Speaking of the net, I will provide you with wonderful novels to read. Young madam? This subordinate, the captain of the 3rd squad, Night Peace, greets the 2 young ladies but the captain of the guards bowed in greeting, but he was conflicted about whether to let them go or not, because he could not confirm the identities of Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Sigh. We won't make things difficult for you. We will camp outside the city. If you need to fight, come and inform us. Seeing the captain of the Night Moon City guards at a loss, Yang Lei laughed, because she felt that the people of Night Moon were very polite, and even had this perseverance in their politeness. GDQ hair, young madam, it's my fault that I can't let you enter the city. Now, I will arrange for you to camp, and once I confirm the identities of the 2 young madams, I will be willing to apologize. Men, go in and inform the 9th elder. Night Peace brought Yang Lei and the others to camp while arranging for people to inform the city. You're right to do so. Sikong Chuyu nodded towards Night Peace. Sikong Chuyu felt that as a person, one had to have perseverance. Night Sorrow had perseverance and so did Night Peace. The God-slaying squad camped outside the city on Night Moon, but no one complained, because Night Peace had even sent people to get food and drink. After receiving the notice, Yi Xiaoyuan immediately came to the God-slaying squad's camp. Just as Yi Xiaoyuan exchanged a few words with Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, 2 flying demonic beasts appeared in the air. It's the captain. Captain, I'm Lei Bao, we're here. Seeing Tianyu appear, Lei Bao shouted at the top of his lungs. Night Sorrow, who was drinking with Yin Huang, who was riding the silver-winged eagle on Tianyu's back, heard the shout and immediately called out to Yin Huang. The 2 of them controlled the flying demonic beasts to land. Yi Xiaoyuan greets young lord and young master Yin. Yi Xiaoyuan and the few elders all bowed to Night Sorrow. You're too courteous. Why are you here? Seeing Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, and the members of the God-slaying team, Night Sorrow was very surprised. Auntie Fei was worried that someone would come to Yeyue City to cause trouble, so she arranged for us to come here. The main reason was that we couldn't find you, so we could only wait here, Yang Lei said. Elder. Among these people, 2 are my fiancé. Yi Xiaoyuan, Night Peace, Night Sorrow. Your subordinate, Yi Anning, didn't know young madam's identity and blocked young madam's group outside the city. This is your subordinate's dereliction of duty. Please punish me, young master. After hearing the conversation between Yi Shang and Yi Xiaoyuan, Yi Anning knelt on one knee and accepted his punishment. Night peace, night peace. It's good that young lord doesn't mind. Then let's enter the city. Young lord going to the Tianfeng dynasty and the Qingming dynasty to wash the city lord's mansion in blood is really satisfying. Allowing us Night Moon people to vent our anger, but we can't do that anymore, it's too dangerous. Yi Xiaoyuan was very happy in his heart. He was happy that Night Sorrow had returned. Happy that Night Sorrow was so graceful and magnanimous. From his attitude towards Night Sorrow, Yi Xiaoyuan had a better understanding of Night Sorrow's temperament. While moving forward, Night Sorrow gave Yin Huang and the members of the god-slaying squad an introduction. Both sides greeted each other politely. They were all proud people, and since Yin Huang did not understand the members of the god-slaying squad, he naturally looked at them with normal eyes. Although Yang Lei, Ling Long and the others knew that Yin Huang was following Night Sorrow into battle, they still had their doubts. Yi Xiaoyuan arranged for the members of the god-slaying squad to stay in an empty mansion. When Yi Shang was about to send them off, Yi Xiaoyuan shook his head and said, "Young master, you have other residences. Come with me and take a look. There's no need to go through so much trouble. I'll stay here." Night Sorrow said. Baidu search love gom little say w. Aichux. Calm, young lord, you are now the person with the highest authority in the Night Moon dynasty, so naturally, you have to have a place to give orders. This subordinate has tidied up and built a mansion right next to the former Wuyo mansion, which is very close to here. Everyone can go over and take a look, and it will be convenient for you to walk back and forth in the future. Yi Xiaoyuan bowed and said. That's fine, then let's go over now. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said. Following that, Yi Xiaoyuan led the group to a very stylish and elegant residence. This place was newly renovated and built. In fact, this was originally Young Lord's residence. Because this is a subsidiary of Ashoka Manor. It's where the direct descendants of Ashoka Manor reside. Okay, then I'll stay here for now. Night Sorrow nodded. As for the lintel, I really don't know how to hang it. Yi Xiaoyuan exhaled and said. After confirming that Night Sorrow was a direct descendant of the Night Moon dynasty, Yi Xiaoyuan understood that Night Sorrow's status was noble, but he didn't have a title, so it wasn't easy to hang the lintel of the mansion. That's not important, let's go in. I have something to tell everyone. Night Sorrow glanced at the group of Night Moon citizens behind Yi Xiaoyuan and said. After entering the mansion and sitting down, Night Sorrow took out a few storage rings and placed them on the table in front of him. Young lord, what are you doing? Yi Xiaoyuan looked at Night Sorrow in confusion. These are some resources that Yin Huang and I obtained from killing some opponents in the City Lord's mansion. Night Moon City has many things to do and needs resources to rebuild. Everyone also needs to improve their cultivation, so Elder, you can arrange it as you see fit. Night Sorrow said. No, we can't take your resources. Yi Xiaoyuan refused. Take it. Don't reject the young lord's kindness. Two elders appeared in the mansion. Ling Lan, Ling Yuan, two law enforcers. They really are law enforcers. Yi Xiaoyuan looked at the two elders excitedly. Night Sorrow also stood up because these two were beginner-level supremacies. We know about the young lord's deeds, so we came back. I'm Yi Linglan. Young lord, can you show us your identity jade token again? The elder called Linglan by Yi Xiaoyuan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow nodded and took out his identity jade token and handed it to Yi Linglan. Yi Linglan's hands trembled as he held the jade token. Yi Lingyuan, who was standing at the side, also stared at the jade token. After a while, Yi Linglan handed the jade token back to Night Sorrow. Young lord, can you use the spatial fissure? Night Sorrow nodded and activated his bloodline talent. He used the spatial fissure in the air. As Night Sorrow used the spatial fissure, a black spatial fissure appeared out of nowhere. Under the control of Night Sorrow's union of heaven and man, it closed very slowly. At this moment, Yi Linglan and Yi Lingyuan bowed at the same time. Yi Linglan and Yi Lingyuan of the Mad God lineage greets the young lord. Seniors, please don't. You are all seniors. Night Sorrow quickly helped Yi Linglan and Yi Lingyuan up. We are the lineage of the 8th son of the Moon Monarch, Mad God lineage. The one in charge of the family is Mad God lineage. The next in charge of the family is Mad God lineage. Royal Uncle Shenxuan's successor is the undefeated king, Brother Wang Huan. After him is Prince Wuyo. You are the only son of Prince Wuyo. Chapter 623. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. There are many princes in the Night Moon dynasty. To determine if one is a direct descendant, it depends on the strength of their bloodline. Only those with a pure bloodline can use spatial rend. Others can use spatial rend. There is no problem with the purity of the young master's bloodline. Even if he is not from Wu You's bloodline, he is from another branch of Prince Wu Mo's bloodline. He is worthy of being called young master. Love Go Little Say Yiling Lan didn't give Night Sorrow a chance to deny his identity as the young master, even if he wasn't Prince Wu You's son. Actually, this subordinate can determine whether or not young master is Prince Wu You's legitimate son. Back then, during young master Xiao Xiao's 1-month-old birthday banquet, when Prince Ling Huan was holding young master, the swaddling clothes slipped off. This subordinate could clearly see a red birthmark on the back of young master Xiao Xiao's right shoulder. Yi Lingyuan said, "Looks like I really am, but I'm now called Night Sorrow." Night Sorrow took off his robe. Yang Lei reached out and pulled the back collar of Night Sorrow's robe. Everyone saw that there was a red birthmark under Night Sorrow's right shoulder. Yishang. Why is young master Xiao Xiao called by this name? Yi Linglan looked at Yishang, who had finished putting on his robes, with some confusion. It's to commemorate the members of the Yi clan who died protecting me. Those who were close to me died. And those who were close to me died. That's why my name is Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow exhaled and revealed the origin of his name. That's what I should do. I dare not comment on the young master's name. You are? Yi Linglan looked at Yi Xiaoyuan. Elders, Yi Xiaoyuan is from a branch family. In terms of seniority, I'm from the 4th generation. I've been staying in the Night Moon dynasty. Now that the 2 elders and the young master have returned, please take charge of the situation. Yi Xiaoyuan bowed and said, "You've done well. In the past, we went out to carry out a mission and missed the war. Later, we felt that it was meaningless for us to come out and fight if our clansmen didn't return. Hence, we have been living in seclusion in Taiqing City. When we heard that the young master destroyed the cities of the Tianfeng and Qingming dynasties, we decided to return." Love Gom Little Say W. Yi Linglan bowed to Night Sorrow. "I don't know how to address you, but you are an elder. You can't be like this." Yishang hurriedly helped Yi Linglan up. "The 2 of us are from the same generation as Prince Ling Huan. In the past, our cultivation bases were at the peak of the Void Inquiry stage. We didn't have a title before we entered the Venerable Realm. In the past, we were attendants. However, in terms of cultivation base, we can now serve as outer elders. Currently, the main force of the Night Moon dynasty isn't here. We will do what we should do well," Yi Linglan said. After that, Yi Xiaoyuan handed over the storage rings that Night Sorrow took out to Yi Linglan. "Then let's see what kind of resources the young master took out, and see how to use them in the most reasonable way," Yi Linglan said and opened the storage rings. W only /TE, W original 7M version R, ZQD hashtag all V/pirated version. Piles of crystal stones and medicine bottles appeared in front of everyone. Night Sorrow introduced the 5th grade pills, 4th grade pills, 3rd grade pills, 4th grade pills, 4th grade pills, 3rd grade pills, pills that could increase one's cultivation base by 1 level, pills that could assist in cultivation, and so on. There are so many resources. It's enough for us to recuperate in the Night Moon dynasty for a while. It's also enough for us to nurture our young people. Yi Lingyuan looked at the resources on the ground and said excitedly, "It's inconvenient to travel in the Night Moon dynasty. However, I can set up 2 teleportation formations. I just don't know how to set them up properly." Night Sorrow looked at Yi Linglan and Yi Lingyuan and said, "We need to set up one in the Night Moon dynasty while the other one needs to be set up in the safe zone between us and Taiqing City. After that, it will be connected to Taiqing City," Yi Lingyuan said. "No. If our teleportation formation is connected to Taiqing City's teleportation formation, we will be exposed directly. It won't do us any good." Night Sorrow shook his head and rejected this idea. He did not want to be high profile in the Night Moon dynasty as it would attract the attention of other forces. Young Master is right. In that case, 2 teleportation formations are not enough. Yi Linglan nodded and agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. "How about this? I'll see if I can get more teleportation crystals. If I can, then we can set up a teleportation formation in the Night Moon dynasty in a secret place in Taiqing City. This way, it will be easier to exchange resources and collect materials." Night Sorrow said. Young Master can decide on these matters. However, young Master's safety comes first. We were powerless in the past and no one would blame us. However, if something happens to young Master now, we won't be able to face the ancestors of the Yi clan. Yi Linglan said. Alright, then I'll trouble you two elders with Night Moon Dynasty. As for the Night Moon Dynasty, let them rebuild it. If they have the ability, they can come and destroy it. As long as the people of the Night Moon Dynasty are still here, we must rebuild it. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said, Young Master, you don't have to worry about Night Moon Dynasty. We will take care of it. Yi Linglan said. Then, Yi Linglan left with his men. However, he left a small group of guards at the entrance of Night Sorrow's mansion. Captain, you've been in the limelight recently. It's not nice of you to not take us with you. Ling Long said. This can't be helped. With few people, I have the pagoda of time and space to protect me. I can retreat at a critical moment. With too many people, I can't fight and retreat whenever I want. Besides, this is my personal matter. I shouldn't drag you guys down with me. Night Sorrow said. Captain, this is your fault. We are brothers. Shouldn't brothers face difficulties together? Lei Bao said. Yes. When the team is on the move, your words are orders. We will definitely carry them out. However, in private, I still want to say something. When I joined the team, you said that if I wanted to join the team, I should at least be a brother's back and be able to block a blade for a brother. Now, you're saying that only you can block a blade for us, and we can't do the same. Ling Long said. Alright. However, we need a more thorough plan. We need to investigate thoroughly before we can make a move. Night Sorrow said. Leave the investigation to me. Yin Huang said. You are the captain's brother. However, we can't let others take the risk for the god-slaying team. Ho Jian said. Night Sorrow wants to avenge Night Moon Dynasty. I am his brother. It is only right that I help him. It has nothing to do with the god-slaying team. Yin Huang said. Alright, Yin Huang and I are friends who have gone through life and death situations together. He's very suitable for scouting because he can detect cultivators with high cultivation. We can't compare to him in this aspect, said Yi Shang. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, no one had any objections. The god-slaying team followed Night Sorrow's lead. Yin Huang treated Night Sorrow as his brother. No one would say anything else. After that, Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, Ling Long, and Nan Liyue went out to buy food. Night Sorrow and the others chatted casually. I can't tell that you look like a prince. Don't all princes wear awesome and flashy battle robes? Lei Bao looked at Yin Huang and said, I'm the real deal. When I have time, I can take you guys to the Yin dynasty to see my prowess. Besides, isn't he a prince too? Why would he dress differently from me? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow and said, Then we must go to the Yin dynasty to see if there are any beauties. Yin Zheng said. Chapter 624. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. Speak clearly. How am I wretched? Lei Zheng was not willing to be looked down upon by Yin Huang. Then let's compete. Are you as tall and mighty as me? If you're not as fierce as me, then forget it. Come to our Yin dynasty and we'll treat you with good wine and meat. However, I'll remind you of the women you're interested in. Yin Huang straightened his back and looked at Yin Zheng. All right. I'm wretched. What I want to say is, you know who is the wretched one. Lei Zheng was speechless. Yin Huang glanced at Lei Zheng with a victorious look in his eyes. After a while, Yang Lei and the others brought back a lot of delicious food. They went to a restaurant and ordered food. The restaurant sent someone to deliver it. Night Sorrow and the others wanted to pay, but the female boss of the restaurant refused to accept it. Not to mention that you are the young master of Night Moon. Just because you stood up for Night Moon, our restaurant will never charge you. In the future, we will deliver 3 meals a day. The female boss of the restaurant said. That's not appropriate. If that's the case, how can I have the face to eat a second time? Just accept the fee. Then we can eat whenever we want. There's no pressure at all. Night Sorrow smiled and stuffed the spirit stones into the female boss's hand. After drinking, everyone dispersed. Ho Jian brought the members of the god-slaying team to the residence where they were stationed. Yin Huang also followed. The main reason was that Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu had just met and had a lot to talk about. Night Sorrow was worried that it would be inconvenient for Linglong and Nan Liyue to go, so he arranged rooms for them. After that, Yi Shang and the other two went to the main hall of the mansion to drink tea and chat. There were also 2 servants cleaning the courtyard. They were all arranged by Yi Xiaoyuan. After drinking a pot of tea, Night Sorrow brought the 2 girls to Night Moon at the suggestion of the 2 girls, and offered incense to the ancestors of the Night Clan. Then Night Sorrow brought the 2 girls to the entrance of the Night Moon Sea to take a look. It's too terrifying inside. Once you enter, you will have to face the spatial turbulence. Your protective energy won't be able to withstand it. Sikong Chuyu said. Yes. Unless you have a high-grade protective energy shield, and the union of heaven and man realm to control the spatial turbulence and not get close. Otherwise you will have to grasp the power of the laws. Otherwise you will die. Night nodded. After staying on Night Moon Sky's island for a while, Yi Shang brought the 2 women back to their mansion to rest. With Night Sorrow's spiritual stone resources, Yi Ling-lan sent people out to exchange for resources and elixirs. The cultivation of the future generations was very important. It represented the future. Yin Huang had been hanging out with the members of the god-slaying squad. Usually they would chat, but the rest of the time he would focus on raising his cultivation level. His cultivation level was high enough, but his cultivation level was still a little low. After all, not everyone could be like Night Sorrow, who could reach his cultivation level in advance. After resting for a while, Night Sorrow decided to move. He planned to go to Taiching City first and see if he could get a spatial crystal. Night Moon City couldn't be stagnant. If they wanted to develop, they needed to exchange all kinds of resources. After communicating with Yi Ling-lan and Yi Ling-yuan, Night Sorrow set off with the god-slaying squad. Their first stop was the first base of Tianji Tower. Yin Huang was going to take office there. Night Sorrow knew that Wu Lingfei was worried about him, so he wanted to go and tell her that he was safe. It was troublesome to not have a transmission array. Although their mounts were fast, it still took them over 20 days to reach the first base of Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow had Ho Jian take the god-slaying squad to rest. Then, he took Yin Huang and Ling Long to the inner part of the base. Love go go xiao shua 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 w. Ai chu x. COM. The inner part of Tianji Tower wasn't a place that just anyone could enter. It needed to be checked layer by layer. However, Night Sorrow and the others were all Celestial Empire envoys, so there was no problem. In the underground hall of the base, Night Sorrow met Wu Lingfei, Lin Yuandao, and the others. Night Sorrow and the others bowed in greeting. Night Sorrow, you're too reckless. Can't you think before doing something? Don't you know how worried everyone was? Guo glared at Night Sorrow. I thought about it and felt that there was no problem, so I did it. I'm sorry to have worried you seniors, Night Sorrow said, a little embarrassed. It's fine as long as it's safe. How's Night Moon City? Wu Lingfei asked. Because of the war, Night Moon City is a little desolate and dilapidated. However, it will change as we repair and recuperate. Night Sorrow nodded. Then Lin Yuandao activated the Celestial Empire token for Yin Huang, and Yin Huang officially became a Celestial Empire envoy. What do you plan to do next? Lin Yuandao asked Night Sorrow. Kill, continue to kill. If we don't make them suffer, they'll think about making others suffer. Night Sorrow spoke of his plan. But you have to know that the dynasties have deep foundations and have more supremacies. Now that you've made them nervous, every city has a supremacy guarding it. It'll be risky if it's like what you did before, Lin Yuandao said. We'll hide from the mid-level and high-level supremacies. Night Sorrow can kill the low-level supremacies. It's useless to kill them anyway, so we'll capture the low-level supremacies and kill them. That's the only way to kill them effectively, Yin Huang said. Night Sorrow is taking revenge for Night Moon Dynasty. Why are you cheering for him? Hua Haining, who had been silent all this time, spoke up. He had always been in charge of Yin Huang's assessment. Night Sorrow is my brother. How can I be cheering for him? We're fighting for our brothers. We had a good time working together, Yin Huang said to Hua Haining. Very good. All three of you can do it, Xie Lanjun said. I haven't introduced you yet. This is the Supreme Elder of Tianji Tower. Lin Yuandao introduced Xie Lanjun to Night Sorrow and the other two. Night Sorrow and the other two quickly bowed to Xie Lanjun. Everyone knew about the battle between Tianji Tower and the Tianfeng dynasty. Tianji Tower's high-level saint had appeared, but they didn't know who it was. After listening to Lin Yuandao's introduction, they all understood. Tianji Tower is people-oriented. If you really have any difficulties, don't forget that Tianji Tower is your backing, Xie Lanjun said. Xie Lanjun said. She was very satisfied with Yi Shang and the other two, especially Yi Shang. It had been many years since she had seen someone whose body was stronger than Yi Shang's. VH version L, Chapter 7. A Supra/PS Night Sorrow. Is there anything you need help with? Lin Yuandao asked. He hoped to help Night Sorrow. Fighting for the Night Moon dynasty is the responsibility of Night Moon's descendants. This is what I should do. I can't involve Tianji Tower, but I would like to exchange some resources with Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Tell me about it. Lin Yuandao nodded to Night Sorrow. I can exchange space crystals with supreme-grade spirit stones, life crystals and soul crystals, Night Sorrow said. These are all things that can improve the strength of a venerable. The resources needed by a venerable are too scarce. Lin Yuandao nodded. The resources that Night Sorrow mentioned were all equivalent to space crystals. Chapter 625. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Dragon Spirit Pill? Could it be the Dragon Spirit Pill that can raise the cultivation of a supremacy? Xie Lanjun asked in surprise. Yes. Night Sorrow nodded. You mean you can get the Dragon Spirit Pill? Xie Lanjun stood up because this was too important. With the help of the Dragon Spirit Pill, there would be more high-level supremacies in Tianji Tower. Not for the time being. I can't refine it yet. Let's wait for a while. We'll talk about exchanging resources later. When Night Sorrow heard Xie Lanjun's words, he knew that Tianji Tower wouldn't use the space crystal to exchange for other resources. He felt that he had thrown away his trump card a little too early. Fortunately, he could go to Taiching City to buy it. Night Sorrow is an alchemy master himself. If he has the materials, he can enter the supremacy realm and refine level 6 pills without a problem, Wu Lingfei said. When Xie Lanjun heard Night Sorrow's words, she knew that Night Sorrow had other ideas. I remember that you're also an alchemy master. As for the Dragon Spirit Pill, you're overthinking it. I was just surprised. I didn't say that the space crystal must be exchanged for the Dragon Spirit Pill. Master K, if we have extra space crystals, it won't hurt to sponsor our members. Elder Hua, do you have any? Lin Yuandao asked. Yes, after we set up a teleportation array in the city we conquered this time. We still have a few extra. Hua Haining took out 3 space crystals. This was the foundation of Tianji Tower. As long as it wasn't a side door, it would have a stockpile. After looking at it, Night Sorrow took out 2 soul crystals, 2 life crystals, and 20 top-grade spirit stones and placed them in front of Hua Haining. Elder Hua, do you think these resources can be exchanged? Yes. This is already a lot. Let's not talk about this for now. Tianji Tower hasn't rewarded you for using the origin stones to fund Chief Inspector Gua and me. Hua Haining didn't accept the resources that Night Sorrow had offered. Let's not talk about those things. Those are my contributions as a member of Tianji Tower. If Elder Hua thinks it's okay, then I'll accept these space crystals. Night Sorrow put the 3 space crystals into his storage ring. Alright, tell me where you want to set up the teleportation array, and I'll find someone to arrange it for you. Hua Haining sighed. He understood that Night Sorrow would not, and was unwilling to take advantage of Tianji Tower. There's no need for that. He's a master of array formations himself, Lin Yuandao said with a smile. After chatting with Wu Lingfei for a while, Night Sorrow bowed to everyone present and was about to leave. Exquisite and Yin Huang also bowed to the people in the hall before leaving the underground base with Night Sorrow. Supreme Elder, you've seen him. What do you think? Lin Yuandao looked at Xie Lanjun and asked. He has great charisma and is a natural leader. Didn't you notice that the two celestial emissaries also followed his lead? The rarest thing is the pride in his heart. It should be said that it's the nobility in the depths of his soul. He saluted us and didn't lower his head because he saluted us out of respect. He doesn't think he's inferior. Very good. Xie Lanjun said. That's why I plan to make him the young Tower Master. If it weren't for the matter of Night Moon, I would have announced it now, Lin Yuandao said. You can discuss this matter. I exist only to help when Tianji Tower is in danger. I won't say much about other things, nor will I interfere with your decisions. Xie Lanjun expressed her attitude. After leaving the underground hall, Yin Huang said excitedly, Night Sorrow, since you can refine dragon spirit pills, you must leave some for me. Otherwise, when your cultivation increases rapidly after you enter the venerable realm, I won't be able to play with you. Of course, that's not a problem. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. Exquisite. Aren't you going to ask if your captain will give it to you? Yin Huang asked in puzzlement when he saw that Exquisite didn't say anything. That's because you don't know our captain. There's no need to ask. If anyone in our god-slaying squad needs it, our captain will naturally give it to them. Exquisite glanced at Yin Huang and said. Is that so? Yin Huang looked at Night Sorrow. Resources are meant to be used. Relatives and brothers, whoever needs it can use it. In fact, you don't have to ask. Night Sorrow nodded. He was very gratified that Exquisite could understand him. A unique S positive and edition J, DQK Ta 30 all 4 / is robber plus. Edition K, alright. You guys win. It's my fault for being narrow-minded and not being open-minded enough. Yin Huang lamented. He knew that his inner thoughts were still lacking. His definition of brothers was not enough. Don't think like that. If we can go through life and death together, that's what brothers are. There's no need to say anything else. Night Sorrow patted Yin Huang's shoulder. Haha. When are we leaving? I'll scout the area and we'll continue to rob. After we get the materials, we can get whatever resources we want. You can refine pills and array formations, and I can refine weapons. We won't need to ask anyone for help in the future. Yin Huang laughed. It's good that you can refine weapons, but it's useless if you can't refine spirit weapons. Exquisite glanced at Yin Huang and said, What are you talking about? I started refining this pair of scimitars as a Tier 2 weapon. Then I upgraded them to Tier 3, Tier 4, and Tier 5. As long as I enter the Venerable Realm, I can refine them and upgrade them to spirit weapons. Yin Huang was very dissatisfied with Exquisite's distrustful gaze. That's not bad. Exquisite nodded. When they reached the surface base, the three of them arrived at the God-slaying squad's habitat. At this moment, the members of the God-slaying squad were sparring. Some were practicing their battle techniques, while others were practicing their array formations. These guys are really hardworking. Yin Huang was somewhat impressed by the members of the God-slaying squad. During the time he had spent with them, they had not stopped cultivating. It was as though they did not know the meaning of fatigue. We're not princes. We don't have anyone to rely on. So, we can only work hard ourselves, Exquisite said. F***CK. Why do you always have such a taste in your mouth? Yin Huang was dissatisfied with Exquisite's words. F***CKU? There are many people who have such thoughts about me. Who do you think you are? Exquisite retorted without backing down. You're awesome. You're ruthless. Can I shut up? Yin Huang was rendered speechless by Exquisite's sharp words. You two are also Heaven's fate emissaries. In the future, you'll be fighting side by side. Is there a need to quarrel like this? Night Sorrow said helplessly. Captain, you heard what he said just now. Yet, you still have such thoughts about me. That's too dirty, Exquisite said. That's not what I said when I was agitated. Is there a need to go so far? Yin Huang explained. He knew that it was inappropriate to speak to a woman like that. Give me some face. We'll be fighting side by side in the future. Let's go investigate later. Yin Huang, you have to be careful. There are so many of us. We can't make any mistakes, Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang. Chapter 626. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. The members of the God-slaying team gathered together. Night Sorrow also took out a map and chose some of the border cities of the various dynasties that could be attacked. If there's a teleportation formation in a city, we'll have to split up and destroy it. Otherwise, when the enemy's reinforcements arrive, it'll be like catching a turtle in a jar. We'll be in trouble, Night Sorrow said. How about this? After we've chosen a city to attack, I'll go in first to investigate. If there's nothing wrong, I'll come back and call for reinforcements. We'll go in and destroy the teleportation formation. The rest of us will start killing, Yun Huang said. That's a good idea. Ling Long nodded. Shui Ling, Ho Jian Yanglei, and the others had no objections. It was safer this way. You don't have to look at me. I'll do my best to investigate. Otherwise, if something happens, I won't be able to escape, right? But no one can be 100% sure about this. The cities aren't small. If someone is shameless enough to lie in a small tavern, I won't be able to detect it, Yun Huang said. Let's plan for both sides. If the enemy has hidden experts, all of you will retreat. I'll hold them off. Yun Huang, you cover the rear, Night Sorrow said. Okay, no problem. Yin Huang nodded. Leader, Brother Yin is helping us fight. It's better for us to cover the rear if there's danger. Shui Ling and I will cover the rear, Ho Jian said. Brother Ho, don't say that. Night Sorrow is my brother. If there's danger, I won't leave him behind. Besides, we've fought together many times and have a tacit understanding. Also, the Venerable One's spatial restraint doesn't have much effect on me. Yin Huang expressed his opinion. It's decided then. Yishang also felt that Yin Huang was the most suitable person to bring up the rear. Aside from him, Yin Huang's combat strength was the strongest. Most importantly, Yin Huang was not afraid of the Venerable One's spatial fetters, so he would not be killed in one blow. Since Night Sorrow said so, no one objected. The only one who was the Venerable One, and the others were all dollar-pirated. The group took the teleportation formation to the Tai Ching domain and rested in an inn. At Shui Ling's suggestion, Night Sorrow decided to make a batch of masks for everyone. Then Night Sorrow arranged for Shui Ling to go to the workshop. Yin Huang took the teleportation formation to investigate. Yin Huang is a good person. The two of us have looted many cities in the past, but he didn't want any of the resources. Furthermore, he has always fought alongside me. We can be said to be good brothers. He hoped that the members of the God-slaying team would be able to accept Yin Huang. After all, they would be fighting together for a long time in the future. It would not be good if there was a barrier or a knot in their hearts. Captain, don't worry. I was just teasing him today. Although he is the prince of the Yin dynasty, he doesn't have that kind of arrogant and lewd aura. That is rare and precious, Ling Long said. All right, then we'll wait for his news. Yin Huang can detect cultivators who are 5 levels higher than him. If he can see their cultivation, then we can fight. If he can't, then we can only hide, said Yishang. Yin Huang returned on the night of the 3rd day. I've investigated 3 cities in the Golden Dragon King's empire. 2 of them have teleportation formations, Yin Huang said after returning to the inn. Then I'll talk about the battle plan. After we enter the city, we'll take over the teleportation formation and leave a group of people to guard it. Kill anyone who gets close to the formation. We can't let any information leak or reinforcements appear, Night Sorrow said. Leader, wouldn't it be safer if we destroy the teleportation formation? Shui Fei asked. Yin Huang found 2 cities that can be attacked. If we destroy the teleportation portal, we won't be able to reach the next city quickly. When news of the attack spreads, Yin Huang's investigation results will be nullified. Who knows if they will increase their manpower at the last minute. So this is my plan. After successfully attacking, we'll take the teleportation formation to the next city. One of us will stay behind to destroy the teleportation formation. The one who destroys the teleportation formation will leisurely sit on a flying demon beast to find the nearest city with a teleportation formation. Then, we'll come back here to meet up, Night Sorrow said. Good plan. We can even get the teleportation formation's spatial crystal, Ho Jian said. Of course it's good. If you can come up with such a battle plan, then you can be the leader, Nan Liyue said as she glanced at Ho Jian. Nan Liyue, you're too much. As long as there's a chance, you're going to bite me, right? Ho Jian looked at Nan Liyue gloomily. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm embarrassed by your words. I've decided that I won't bully you in the future, Nan Liyue said. How rare. Ho Jian sighed. It's mainly bullying honest people, Lei Bao said. In fact, Ho Jian was very steady and didn't talk much. Lei Bao, are you looking for a beating? If I bully Ho Jian, then I'll bully you in the future? Nan Liyue was unhappy after being reprimanded by Lei Bao. It's still a little early. Tu Yu, make a pot of tea. I'll see who bites harder, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He knew that these people were just bickering. No one really took it to heart. The sun set in the west and the sky darkened. After Night Sorrow led the team to the teleportation formation in the Taiching region, they teleported to the target city. After exiting the teleportation formation, Night Sorrow and the members of the God-slaying team directly killed the guards guarding the teleportation formation. Then, the members of the God-slaying team were teleported over. Everyone, wear your masks. The teleportation formation is the most important. Xueling, Ling Long, you two each lead a team to guard this place. Remember, safety is the most important. If you can't hold on, then destroy the teleportation formation and meet up with everyone in the direction of the City Lord's mansion. The rest of you follow me. We'll kill our way to the City Lord's mansion. Night Sorrow gave the order to the team. He was worried that the team's escape route and that the people in the city would call for reinforcements, so he left two teams behind. The Tianji Tower team used a joint attack formation in group battles. They were all in groups of 5. Now, Night Sorrow left two stronger teams behind. Then Night Sorrow led the team and rode on the flying demon beast in the direction of the City Lord's mansion. Yin Huang was more experienced. He kept lighting torches and throwing them out from time to time, setting the more important buildings in the city on fire. Brother Yin, you're very experienced in setting fires, Ho Jian said with a smile. I work with your captain more often. Some things just get easier after a while, Yin Huang said as he threw torches from time to time. Everyone saw that Yin Huang only lit the main buildings in the city, not the houses of the commoners. This meant that there was a bottom line when doing things. For example, the high-rise buildings where the city guards use crossbows to attack mounts belonged to the City Lord's mansion. Soon, the team arrived at the City Lord's mansion in the city. Ninth Senior Sister, take some people and surround this place. Kill anyone above rank 3 who resists. Yin Huang, take some people and kill them. Target the warehouse. Night Sorrow gave the order when he saw the old man flying out of the City Lord's mansion. Chapter 627. Genius remembers love in 1 second / small? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. That's right, I am Night Moon Night Sorrow. It's time for you to pay your debt. Night Sorrow said coldly. You sure talk big. Then die. A battle blade appeared in the City Lord's hand as he executed spatial fetters and charged towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow waved his reincarnation spear and executed the 7-star brilliant moon spear art. He charged towards the City Lord and said, You are the one who will die. I am here to kill. Wang. The blade aura and spear light collided, causing an intense vibration. Night Sorrow was pushed back a distance. The City Lord was a peak 3rd-grade martial saint. His chi was much stronger than Night Sorrow's. Even though Night Sorrow's body was strong, they were not on the same level. Night Sorrow, who was pushed back, waved his reincarnation spear and charged forward again. The City Lord was very strong, but Night Sorrow felt that he could still fight. Night Sorrow was pushed back again and again. However, he was not injured and was not affected much. Night Sorrow's body was very strong, and the City Lord was also in a tough spot. He planned to suppress Night Sorrow, but every time they collided, he would be pushed back a little. He was unable to suppress Night Sorrow. At this moment, the City Lord's mansion was on fire. Yang Lei and the rest were not to be trifled with. In just a short moment, the City Lord's guards were all killed. The god-slaying team also looted the treasury of the City Lord's mansion. Nan Liua also collected the resources. Night Sorrow and the City Lord were fighting, and the others could only watch. It's about time. Night Sorrow muttered softly. Night Sorrow, who was prepared, immediately threw out spatial fetters. Then his bloodline ability erupted. He executed spatial rend and slashed towards the City Lord. At the same time, he followed behind the spatial rend and quickly approached the City Lord. The speed of the spatial rend was too fast. The City Lord wanted to retreat, but it was too late. He could only wave his battle blade and take it head-on. Crack! With a crisp sound, the black-robed City Lord's war blade was shattered by the energy of the space crack. At this moment, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear had also arrived. The expression of the black-clothed City Lord changed greatly as he waved his hand to the side, intending to block Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. At this moment, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was using the vibrating force. Along with a strong vibrating sound, the right arm of the black-clothed City Lord was shaken off by the reincarnation spear. However, Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was also deflected by the black-clothed City Lord's move. After all, the energy levels of the two people's true chi were different, and the difference was very big. The reincarnation spear that had been deflected still pierced into the ribs of the black-clothed City Lord. Baidu search, AI Go female sign Xiao say www.ahx. Koma's Night Sorrow's right arm moved horizontally. The City Lord's ribs were cut by Night Sorrow, leaving a deep wound. After heavily injuring the black-clothed City Lord with one move, Night Sorrow charged forward and struck out with the Hand of Desolation. Letting out a beastly roar, the black-clothed City Lord punched out. As the two people's arms approached each other, the black-clothed City Lord's fist showed signs of energy loss. Bang! The two people's palms collided with each other, producing a muffled sound. Night Sorrow stood still, but the black-clothed City Lord was pushed back very far. He was already heavily injured, and with the Hand of Desolation's time acceleration, the energy in his fist was depleted. Therefore, he was unable to withstand Night Sorrow's Hand of Desolation attack. At this moment, Night Sorrow raised his left hand again, and a sky-piercing spear pierced through the air, directly piercing through the black-clothed City Lord's throat. Charging forward again, Night Sorrow waved his right hand, and the reincarnation spear pierced through the black-clothed City Lord's chest. He continued to fly with the black-clothed City Lord, and then waved his arm on a wall of the City Lord's mansion that was not burned. A moment later, the words Night Moon, Night Sorrow, I'm coming appeared again. With a shake of his arm, Night Sorrow flung the black-clothed City Lord's corpse away. At the same time, he also took the unlucky City Lord's storage ring. At this moment, Yang Lei picked up a long sword and shot it out, nailing the black-clothed City Lord's corpse to the wall. Did it go smoothly? Night Sorrow looked at the god-slaying squad gathered at the entrance of the City Lord's mansion and asked. Captain, everything went smoothly. Ho Jian cupped his hands and said. The resources in the warehouse are in our hands. Nan Liua also took a step forward. Gather at the teleportation array. Night Sorrow waved his arm, and everyone got on their mounts. Riding on his mount, Night Sorrow looked at the group of people behind him and asked again. Is anyone injured? Can you continue to fight? No problem. The members of the god-slaying squad knocked on their breastplates and answered. That's good. Ma Shizhuang, Tang Tian, Chu Ning, the three of you take it easy. Don't be too rash. Get used to the speed of battle first, Night Sorrow said to Ma Shizhuang and the other two. He was most worried about these three people. 13th Marshal Uncle, don't worry. We know what to do, Ma Shizhuang said. Captain, don't worry. These three guys are very smart. They are all experts at sneaking up on us. Even if we fall, they won't fall, Nan Liua said with a smile. That's good. Night Sorrow nodded with a smile. He was relieved that Ma Shizhuang and the other two knew how to fight and knew how to fight. After getting on the teleportation array, Night Sorrow told Ho Qingjie to dismantle the teleportation array and return to the Taiqing region. Night Sorrow and the others then started the teleportation array. Because there was no direct teleportation array, the group of people went back and forth and arrived at this city called Dragon Whisker City. After killing the guards guarding the teleportation array, Night Sorrow left two teams behind. This time, Night Sorrow left behind Ho Jian and Lei Bao. Because they swapped, the problem of consumption was not obvious. 8 genuine first threes release F. The group of people flew towards the center of the city. Ling Long and Yin Huang asked for torches, and the two of them started the fire together. Everyone be careful, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, this city is easier to fight than the previous one. There's only one guy who just entered the Venerable Realm in the City Lord's mansion. He's much weaker than the one you just killed, Yin Huang said. Caution is the parent of safety. Night Sorrow was still very cautious. When they arrived at the City Lord's mansion, Yang Lei and Ling Long led their people to kill. Yin Huang's expression changed. Oh no, there's an expert here. When Yin Huang shouted, 2 old men flew out of the City Lord's mansion. One was a level 1 venerable who had just entered the Venerable Realm, while the other had a cultivation that Night Sorrow could not see. Ah! I'm here to collect the harvest of resources, yet I encountered such a thing. It seems that I, Jin Sun, will be the one to do this. The old man in the golden robe laughed loudly. Night Sorrow, it's my fault. Yin Huang's expression was very ugly because he was responsible for the wrong information. This has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow waved his hand. Yin Huang has let everyone down. Yin Huang looked at the group of people in the god-slaying team apologetically. Didn't you hear? He just arrived. What does it have to do with you? Fight. If we die in battle, we brothers will fight side by side in the next life. Ling Long waved her weapon and shouted. What will come will come. Control the nether wolves and block them. Kill one of them with all your might. Night Sorrow said to Yin Huang, who had come to his side. Yin Huang nodded and waved his arm. The roaring shadow energy behind him charged towards Jin Sun. Jin Ji, be careful. Jin Sun shouted. You're tuning in to the Li Mei Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.